welcome one and all to the third episode of Sins of the Saviours, Book 5 of the Rise of the Runelords. Sorry if I keep pausing, they're talking in my ear. It's trying to concentrate while they argue in the background. In character, it's rather amusing. But anyway, so last week they defeated the Scribbler, and now they're working out how to plan. The dwarf is suggesting using an anti-magic field, so we'll just jump right into the party and see what they're up to.
All bunching up in a group thing.
So is that a no?
Yeah, one area attack could end it all.
I mean, I can see why it's a good idea, but I really don't know what would happen with a bag of holdings contents if it was suddenly in there and the magic disappeared.
I have no idea. Let's not risk it. Probably nothing. It's probably just a regular bag when it's in there. But
I mean, it would be a good idea with a couple, but we only need a couple that can go, that's a door, no, don't pay attention to that, type deal,
Yeah.
The bennies must flow. There you go.
Yeah, I just alerted him, told him the game's about to start. We need the Benny God.
So, anyway. So, you've defeated the Scribbler. And everything... Well, actually, I say everything's quiet. It isn't exactly quiet. It still should be some weird eeriness in the background. There you go.
Were we still arguing about whether to take these bodies up and let them know that, we've gotten this far, but we still got more to investigate? Or we're just going to...
Well, I was going to get... We've got time for the bodies. I'd leave the bodies to last, to be perfectly honest. I want to know what Scribbler was doing down here.
Well, and we might find the rest of his riddle, I guess.
Indeed, I do believe you'd only found one stanza so far, hadn't you?
Yes.
Only one stanza in the entry room, and he must have somewhere he must have somewhere he stays.
Maybe you'd think somebody like him would have whole books of stuff he wrote.
Aye. Probably dating all the way back to Thessalonia. Thessalonia.
All you've got so far is, if magic bright is your desire, to old Runeforge you must retire, for only there does wizard's art receive its due and proper start.
Runeforge is a place, but we have to go and find it.
Well, it's a forge. Don't you know anything about it, Stunty?
I don't know. Well, I don't think it's that type of forge. I think it's a Jelsa type thing.
Yeah.
I thought dwarves did runes and that and malt and all.
So, okay. So, where do you want to head? Obviously, there's numerous ways you can go. Some people have been to other bits that other people haven't. So, tokens should not be locked.
I haven't got a map. Oh.
Combat tracker.
That's because you don't go on the combat tracker and double click on your face to open it.
Because I keep double clicking on my face elsewhere and wondering why it's not working, and keep forgetting that I need to do it on the combat tracker. I'm sorry.
What's really interesting is it only shows Jill. When I shared it, it must have been only Jill was connected or something.
Right. Well, I think Bert got as far as the little room on the other side.
I'm just, if you're going to start splitting up and going, don't actually. I'm going to have to. Actually, I just remembered I can't let you just wander willy-nilly, can I? Because of course, it's not that straightforward, is it?
Well, Joseph's going to try to catch up before Stumblefoot gets himself.
So I might as well...
So this corridor here we never explored.
Yeah. So Rannick and Dondrad, you're both okay walking into here. So here, three once separate chambers have become one, joined by collapsed walls and the erosion of ages. Bloodstained fragments of chain shirts, shields, swords and clothing lie strewn about this room haphazardly. The walls are decorated with countless scribblings written sloppily in blood.
Any of the blood fresh? Are these more bits of the guards?
Ew.
Do we need to go back and get a bucket?
No, I think it's probably quite dried.
Okay.
Well,
there's lots more scribbling here, but I don't understand any of it.
Do you know what? I can't be bothered to keep holding the 50%. So even though I'm meant to do it every time, it's much easier just to let you move around and we'll go. Do you know what I mean?
Or you could say to us for us to roll our own, and if we fail, tell you, and if we pass, move.
It's okay. I'm going to assume what I'm going to assume of the fact that what's happening is every time you fail and you go the wrong way, you stop and come back the other way again. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think there's anything in the 3 chambers.
Okay, I'm going to have a look at this Thessalonian writing he's found and have a read.
Okay, yes, indeed. Basically, looking around, you find.
I think Chelsea got stuck in a wall.
So in the kitchen, yeah, you probably did. In the kitchen area, you find something that's out of place. On frozen mountains Zin awaits, his regal voice, the yawning gates. Keys turn twice in Sihedron, occulted runeforge waits within. That doesn't look like it's all there. I'm going to look at that. I'm wondering if I've got a translation problem there. Let's have a look. Oh, wrong version. Doesn't matter.
No, it's 2 rhyming couplets. It's just Sihedron and within a half rhymes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's the dash that threw me. Yeah,
so I take it that's mountain region, right? And you need a pair of keys.
Okay. Bert's already been in these 2, so.
Okay.
Bert can't read Thessalonian, so it's just all covered in Thessalonian. The walls.
If I look through all of this area, is there any more, or is that what you've just given me?
That's what I've just given you.
Okie dokie. What's this way then?
I think that's a dirty limerick right there.
There's definitely lots of writing that that you probably should get someone who can read Thessalonian, and these in it. Well, everywhere's covered in it. That's the thing, isn't it?
Found a square bit.
Yeah.
So have you read the bit that Bert's in?
I can read the rest of this wall.
Okay.
Well, I'm not letting Irina go off by herself and get killed either.
Just
Well,
read
both
this
people,
room.
both people that read Thessalonian are buggered off this way, guys.
Exactly. You're leaving the most important clue behind, guys.
Sorry, I was just checking. Only pausing it. There was methods to my pausing. It's like I wouldn't worry too much. I'm going to unlock tokens because some of these tunnels are a bit too narrow for kicking. Okay. So the walls and ceiling of this floor, otherwise empty room, are densely packed with writing, in many cases overlapping and tangled to near the point of illegibility. 4 short lines stand out on the northern door, carved into the stone, but otherwise alone upon its face.
That's the square room that Irina and I are in?
Yeah. And now you've come and joined the forge. Upon rare law, your mind could gorge. And when you slough the mortal way, in rune forge long, you work shall stay.
So there's a paragraph missing then, obviously.
Yeah.
Aye.
Haven't found it all yet.
Aye, so the paragraph's it'll be at the orange pointer then.
Oh, I'm happy to go back and look.
Hang on. Is that a door?
Yeah.
Notice checks, please. Was it spirit checks, actually, wasn't it? Spirit checks to spot the door.
Make your mind up.
Sorry.
It's alright.
Aye, I'm pretty sure that's a door.
It is a door. Although not all of you can see it, but there is a door there. So those that make the spirit check can open the door if they so wish.
I'll open the door.
I was going to go back for the other passage, but...
Okay. Right. So, yeah. Okay. And Ranix walked through the door. Okay.
No, Bert's walked through the door.
Bert's walked through the door. So is he? That looks like Ranix.
I'm not sure why Bert walked through the door. I didn't move Bert.
Oh, someone moved Bert.
Wasn't me. Rannick's back there.
Someone
There's
clicked on
some
Bert and moved
kind
him
of
up through the
force
door.
in here that's dragging people around. It's taking over your table,
That's
guys,
okay.
while I'm not controlling it.
Well, I'm not doing anything. I'm just moving Amber up. Right. I'm going to put Radek through the bloody door anyway because I'm evil, because someone went through the door.
All right.
And anyway, it'll be more fun that way. Okay.
You find a ghostly boot up your arse and get pushed through the door.
Hello. You step through the door.
Okay.
And it's a very foggy hallway beyond, and there's a whispering voice in your mind saying you better watch out. It's obvious. It should be. Isn't it obvious that the rest of the party have been affected by, tainted even by Lamashtu's influence, and obviously, even now as you turn back, even as you look back at them, watching as you walk through the door, it's saying, "Can't you see? They're talking about how to sacrifice you to Lamashtu." Make a spirit check, please.
This is clearly some kind of magical suggestion, because every time we've come across a shrine to Lamashtu, the stunty has smashed it and has absolutely been against Lamashtu and anything that the Mother of Monsters stands for. So I think I should at least get a spirit roll to resist this, on the grounds that I know what the stunt is like.
You interrupted me saying make a spirit check.
Ah, okay.
In fact, given your rational argument, you don't suffer the full penalty, and obviously, you resist it.
I'm hoping with an 18 that I did.
Exactly.
I will stick my head back through the door then. Rannick pokes his head back through the door. Yeah, there's some dodgy magic in here. Said you lot were all worshipping Lamashtu. No, Stunty, I didn't say that you were. It said that you were. All right.
To be honest, the whole influence of that trap doesn't work because you've already killed the scribbler. Otherwise, he basically watches you go off and hide and then kills you. You're okay.
Right. So just be careful, because it'll probably make you want to beat everybody else up or something. Anyway, I'm going up corridor.
Okay.
Please say for me,
door.
if I try to
Is
beat
there
up.
a door though? Spirit check. No door. It's dead end.
No, there is. There is. It's on the western wall.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Rannick is trying to open the western door.
Okie dokie. Meanwhile, Dodred, Rannick's got his back to the door and desperately clawing at the wall behind him.
Can't get over the handle.
It's behind you.
Oh no, it isn't. It's right there.
Yes, it's behind you. It's behind you.
It's not. Look, that is a door.
It's a
Shall we
wall.
open the door? Let's open the door and find out what's the other side.
I'm trying, but I can't get the handle. The handle, look, the handle's right there.
Dondred, can you reach the door?
The door is right there. Look, that's where look. I just can't get hold of the handle.
I push Rannick through the door backwards.
Hey, you found a secret door.
The walls of this room are decorated with flowing script and runes. To the north slumps a bloody human body, its limbs apparently broken in a dozen places. A low table against the east wall is covered with vials of coloured liquid, and sitting in an inkwell is a quill made from a peacock's feather.
I'm going to examine the writing. Dondred, do you want to see if there's anything magical in here?
Let's have a wee think about it. What the quill does?
And the quill is.
I had a feeling it would be. It was a bit too shiny.
I just think that a nice feather. Jilsa's going to have a feather, isn't she? I mean,
Yep. But the
Can put that in
scribbles
my
on the
hair.
walls of this room contain more than invocations to Labishtu. They appear to have consist of notes regarding the state of the world as reported to him by various spirits and outsiders he apparently has contacted over quite a considerable amount of time. The notes impart a feeling of someone out of time and doing what he can to gather intelligence on a world that's moved on. Runeforge is mentioned several times. The scribbler very much wants to send agents to the dungeon in order to gather supplies and raid it for magic items and texts. He appears you can tell he seems to have been convinced that the complex has long since been forgotten and abandoned. In particular, his notes speak something of rune-forged weapons. The scribbler believes that these items could be quite useful against the Runelords and their allies, yet the methods of their creation seem to have been lost somewhere in the Runeforge.
Well, I guess we best find this Runeforge then, haven't we?
Yeah. The body is wearing the dead body is wearing the uniform of the Sandpoint militia.
Is it the same age
the other
as
one
the
to
other
turn
one?
back up.
But surely that paragraph back in the other room needs to be read as well.
I agree. I'm going to go back and read it. If anybody wants to join me, they can.
So, presumably, you go up to the.
Okay, from your perspective, the Igs, although non-magical, are very good quality, and obviously the quill is magical, so I've added them to the party sheet.
Ooh. Well, Rannick will pick up the dead body.
Okay.
Because somebody's got to carry that back.
So what does the magic quill do?
Was it this room?
Oh, he made his report roll, so he knows.
Both of them.
Okay. Well, it's basically a revelation quill. Its true strength lies in the ability to answer questions once per day if the user concentrates on a specific future goal, event, or activity occurring within the coming week. The revelation quill takes over and writes out a short response, often in the form of a cryptic rhyme or omen. Oh joy! Once per week, the user may use once per week the quill in the same way to contact another plane instead, asking up to 10 yes or no questions. So there you go. It's like a divination power, isn't it?
A divination +1.
So, from Irina's point of view, small dunes of rubble and dust lies on floors of this room, disturbed as if by the passage of pacing feet. The walls and ceiling are densely crowded with scribblings and markings. An image of a three-eyed jackal glares from the wall to the east.
I'll ask it what it's looking at, and then I'll read the Thessalonian.
Okay, basically all the walls here bear prayers to Lamashtu. In the centre of the eastern wall, just under the image of the symbol of Labishtu, you spot hidden amongst all the other prayers what appears to be another stanza. On eastern shores of steaming mirror, at the end of day when dusk is nearer, when 7 faces silent wait, encircled guards at Runeforge gate.
Yeah. Well, I've recorded all of these. I don't think they're going to make sense until we get more information. Is there any in here?
Well,
Yep, hang on. That was A4. You've just gone right over my pointer, and there's someone's put a bloody arrow over my pointer, so I can't actually get it. It is A5.
just
This room has partially collapsed. Cracks radiate along the walls and ceiling here. An image of a three-eyed jackal glares from the eastern wall, one of the cracks running right across its snout.
It got booped on the snoot.
Mm-hmm.
It did.
With a hammer.
I'm guessing, right, you have to go to the Mountain of Zing, and presumably there's a place with 2 keyholes that you both have to turn.
Sounds like it.
And presumably the Eastern Shore shimming mirror is some kind of trap that goes off if you get it wrong. Circled guards at Runelords Gate.
No, it's Eastern Shores of Steaming Mirror. That will be a pool
A
of
lake.
water, a lake that's probably got hot rocks underneath it.
Yeah. Is there any writing in the room, me?
No, and that's why I'm getting a bit confused.
Maybe there's some in. No, that's not even a room.
Hang on.
Okay.
Let me just lock you for a sec because I'm just trying to work this one out.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
A2. Okay, so I'm just going to work this one. So I'm just going. Let's clear it out for ease. So let's turn off. Obviously, you've pretty much done it all. I think you've been everywhere. Yeah, there's only one set of doors you haven't opened, and I'm not too worried about those. So let's turn off line of sight. Let's turn off lighting. Let's turn off the mist. So that should make life easier for you lot to see the map. Yeah.
I've not been to the pool room.
Okay. You haven't, but yeah. So that's what I was going to check. So when you got to this room here. Which was A2. When you first came in, you got to A2, yeah? And that was where you got that. That was where you got that. Okay, so when then you got to 6, just checking. Because I can't work out where one of the stanzas should be. Okay, yeah, so then you came into this area and you had the fight with the Scribbler, and you looked around the place, and as far as I can tell, that's it. That's why I got confused. So you came into this one, and that's where you got that one. Yeah.
We've not had that one.
We've not had that one.
Yeah, okay, you should have had that one.
When we were in the room you're pointing at now is when you gave us A2.
Oh, that was my mistake then. So, yeah. So that's my mistake. So you should have had A2. You should have had that one there. Then you should have had that one there.
Thank you.
Okay. Then you went to this room here. Sorry about that. That's why I got very confused. It doesn't. And that's when you got that one. Yep. Then you came to over here. And you got that one. Mm-hmm. And then you got to here, didn't you?
Yes.
And I've got to put the pointer on it. And you got that one.
There you go.
Yeah. That's it. Yep. That's why I missed one out.
Go interrupt there. It's not 2 keys. There's 7 keys you have to take out the statues.
So that's all 5
stick together
in the order you found them.
Put them in the keyhole, turn it twice, and
I don't think. What was that, Tab?
I think that's the order.
I don't know. I think maybe the last one. Well,
actually, maybe the second one goes second to last. Actually.
I've made a note in the investigation with all of them.
I've got them as well. I've got it in my notes.
As have I. That's what I just shared from.
Yeah.
Ooh, whose is that one?
That's mine.
That's your one.
The Scribbler's writing. Yeah.
That's the correct order.
That's not the order you did it in.
That's not the order you did it in, but that is the order that is apparently the correct order.
So, does anybody know of a lake? What's up? Will a common knowledge roll give somebody that?
So if Magic Bright is your desire to own Rude Forge, you must retire, for only there does Wizard's Art receive its due and proper start. On eastern shores of Steaming Mirror, at end of day when dusk is nearer, when 7 faces silent wait, encircled guards at Runeforge gate. Each stone the grace of 7 lords, one part of key each ruler hoards. If offered spells and proper player, takes 7 keys and climb the stair. On frozen mountain Zin awaits, his regal voice the yawning gates. Keys turn twice in Sihedron, a culted Runeforge waits within. And then you come and join the forge, and rare and lord mine can gorge, and when you slough the mortal way, in Runeforge's long work you shall stay. Well, there you go. So, in order to understand the rhyme, the players should puzzle things out on their own. If this becomes problematic, a skill roll can reveal the standard's correct interpretation. The skill roll can be anything associated with poetry. Or the ability to decipher code, so performance for academics, to arrange the stanzas in their proper order, which you've already done, so congratulations on that one. What was your question?
So, does any bugger here know of a lake what's like got steaminess, like hot rocks under it around? Would common knowledge cover that for a ranger?
No.
No, it
Okay.
wouldn't, or no, we don't.
Sorry, what was your question? What was you? So I was reading something, so I wasn't paying proper attention. Common knowledge. What was your question? What was your description? Did anyone know?
Does anybody know of a lake that has got hot rocks or geysers or what have you underneath it? And is that the kind of thing that a ranger who's meant to be well travelled would get with a common knowledge roll?
A natural hot pool, a hot spring.
Because I don't know.
Official ruling is a science roll.
Okay, well, I definitely haven't got that.
Well, no, but we can all roll unskilled, can't we?
You can.
And it's a geology question.
What I will say, Rannick, is you can, as a well-travelled ranger, as you said there, I will allow you a common knowledge roll with a
But Bert apparently knows it really, really well.
Bert probably does.
Apparently, there's too many statues for me to remember.
I don't know. Dontrad knows about it too.
Combat tracker. Let's turn the statues off because I imagine you're.
Hey, if I close my eyes and think about it, then I can't see them watching me.
It's not a matter of your
Yeah,
eyes.
Okay. So, basically, Dontrad and Bert, Rannick, I mean, that was your common knowledge roll, so I'm afraid, you know that's what you're thinking of, but you don't recall anything along those lines. But Bert and Dontrad.
Yeah, it's
word
it's on the
as a
mountain.
metaphor for a lake is common in ancient Thessalonian poetry. A science roll notes that in Varizia, Lake Stormmunder, known for its plentiful hot springs and geysers, the stanza further mentions 7 faces that are encircled. So,
all right. So where's this Lake Stormmunder then?
basically, I'm going to say Bert. What I'm going to say is Bert's science roll gives you Lake Stormmunder. Dondrad. Bert got a raise actually. But Bert got the raise on his science roll, so that allows me to tell you there's a mysterious circle of 7 stone heads upon the western slopes of Rhymeskull on Stormunder's eastern shore.
So we're going to Easter Island then.
Yeah, presumably we have to be there at sunset.
Aye.
As well. We arrive at sunset and then presumably do some ritual. Get the keys out of the statues, stick them together, go up, put them in the keyhole.
Where the bloody hell is Lake Stormmunder?
I have no idea, mate. I'll work it out in a minute.
Oh, I see. When we get there, we need to say the right things, the right spells and prayers to get the parts of the key from the 7 heads.
Yes, that's right. Aye. Do the ritual, which I won't be doing, but never mind.
It depends.
It depends if they've got eyes.
Okay, so that gets you the 3rd stanza. What about the 4th stanza?
On frozen mountains in a wait. So near there, or within travelling distance from there, is there a mountain high enough to?
Well, read the second. Read the second. Actually, read the last line of the previous stanza.
Hang on. Earth.
That's Xin, isn't it?
Climb the stair. Okay.
Climb the stair. Okay, well,
Okay,
is
so-
there any stairs near this lake?
Preferably ones leading to a mountain tall enough to have snow on it.
Indeed, I don't
Or
know.
hang on, Zin. Is that like a mountain or a town or something? It's something.
We don't have the player's guide to Viseria loaded, so we can't look it up.
Do you know there isn't a player's guide to Viserion? Interestingly,
Is there not?
There isn't a player's guide in Savage Pathfinder, which I find very interesting. I don't think I can even load it in because I don't think I loaded Universal. Let me have a look at the PDF to see if it's of any use. We are talking the D20 version here, by the way. Systems D20.
And I'm assuming that we need to either rotate. There'll be a Sihedron with 2 keyholes that we'll need to put the keys that we found in.
Yeah, that's what I think. But I think it's you stick them together, but there'll be a bit in each statue. You have to click together.
Edition, interactive maps. No, player's edition guide. Let's have a look. Let's see what the PDF would have given you.
I'm a little bit disturbed by the third line of the 5th stanza. That implies that we're going to become purely spirit.
All right. Okay, fine. That's helpful. It definitely helped me. Here we go. Modules. Map of the inner sea. Map. Come on. Ooh. There we go. There's the map. Let's have a look. There is... I'm in the wrong place. That's why. There we go. Hang on. The Verusian Gulf. The Kodar Mountains. Aha! There we go. Right. So I did have to use the bloody player's guide that they don't provide. You don't get in the Savage Worlds version, I notice. But anyway, that. Did it share the same view I'm getting?
I didn't get any. Oh wait, there it is. Yeah, that lake.
That from the description, I would say that is probably. Obviously, it doesn't actually bloody name it anywhere, but I would say that is Lake Stormunder.
So that would suggest that frozen mountain that Zin's on is one of Kodar Mountains.
Eastern Shore, doesn't it?
Yeah, it did say Eastern Shore, yeah.
Which makes it
Western.
The Eastern Shore there. Yeah, that one. Right in front of that, there's one mountain on its own. I think it must be that one.
Or that one. Or that one.
That looks more like a hill than a mountain. It says frozen mountain. It's got to be tall enough to get snow. The other, those 3 look like they're too short.
Well, look, there's a map maker in Sandpoint. Why don't we go talk to him?
Good.
Maybe you'll know a bit more about it.
Oh, come on, you want to be...
You know, like mountain.
I'd just like to point out, for answering questions, somebody can ask dead people, and there's also a quill and some ink in the party sheet that can answer questions.
It's an incredibly good point. The quill one.
Like Stormunder is listed in the player's guide, but it just tells you exactly what I've just told you there. So the player's guide literally is just a mini little gazetteer and a map with actually Rimskull on the map.
For that matter, really, if this is all to do with Thasiwas Nom stuff, your girlfriend's dad is all excited, isn't he?
Yeah, he might be the person to talk to, and I certainly don't object to a visit.
Oh, actually, sorry, just quick aside. I need to go check Kickstarter.
Already backed it.
Yes, okay. Smug so-and-sos. I can't remember which one of their original Kickstarters. I was one of the first 10 or something. Nowadays, by the time I remember these days, it's like 200. 1,000.
Yeah.
I figured I'll probably go full PDF and then do an add-on of a print version of the player's guide.
I don't do print versions anymore these days. I really don't.
GM digital, GM print. Yeah, GM digital. 35 backers already. There we go. Right, that's that done. And then I'll work out later, as I say, and when the time comes, I'll just add on the Dead Tree version of the Advanced Player's Guide. Sorry, just realised I haven't done that yet. So there we go. Right, back to the game. Now I'm back to Pathfinder Kickstarter. Okay. His revoice, you're engaged, turn twice. Yeah, there we go. So, you pick up the bodies and head back into town, I assume.
All right.
Absolutely fine. So, the end of book 4, the heroes discovered by borrowed scripted notes about the Rune Forge. Okay, there we go. So, okay, yeah, basically you bring back up, you bring back up. Are you? Well, it'll take you a couple of. I don't know who's carrying bodies back up to the surface, or you
I'm
just
certainly
get to,
carrying bodies up.
or you can carry a body up, obviously, and then you can obviously tell the sheriff what's happened, and he will pick up the rest. As it, well, you don't actually need to carry any of them up technically, unless you want to.
Also, Bert.
Yes, Rannick very much does want to, and will help anyone that's sent down to get the rest of the bodies to get them too.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, Bert can shape change and carry like 3 or 4. I'm sure. If nothing else, I can turn into a tentacular and just vomit one of the bodies out whenever I'm done.
That might be deemed a little disrespectful, you know.
Well, yeah, probably.
Okay, so while Rannick and Bert are dealing with retrieving the bodies, what are the rest of you up to?
I'm going to go and see Broderick, and obviously, while I'm there, it would be rude to not spend some time with Lucinda. But
True.
in my bag of holding, I have got all the laboratory equipment and spell components.
Because you say you're carrying lavatory equipment in your bag of holding. Okay.
Laboratory, not lavatory.
Laboratory.
Like science lab or spell lab.
Halfway through a dungeon. Look, I've got a plunger. Thank God, that's just what I'm needing.
You laugh now, but one day we're going to need that plunger.
Indeed, that may be smart.
So the lab equipment and spell components, would Broderick like these?
I'm sure he would, and he's obviously his daughter Lucinda will be very, very, very happy to see his father so well richly gifted.
The weight of it's 700, so I'm reckoning that's
probably quite
a lot of bones.
Indeed. To a scholar like himself, obviously, you'll be spending the rest of the afternoon being questioned hugely academically about everything about the library and everything else, and already Broderick is already thinking how he might plan an expedition to examine the library further. Okay, so that just leaves Dondred and Jelsa. What are you doing while the bodies are being recovered?
Well, I do actually have a hole in my armour that would quite like need to get fixed.
Well, fix it, dear Dondred.
Yeah, that clockwork hot mechanical thing, bit chunk out the a hole in my armour.
Okay, well that's okay. A couple of sort of 500-600 gold pieces because it's magical armor, isn't it?
Yes, very magical.
Yeah, couple of hundred. So we'll call it 250 gold pieces and most of the afternoon to get it repaired. No problem at all. There's a blacksmith.
So, what about? I could give you 250 copper pieces. You know,
Changing them
and
quite
bless you, and I'll give you a scrote so you can get into heaven.
And that just leaves Jelsa.
Well, Joseph's just going to go and track down the kids at the orphanage and hang out. Listen to kid gossip.
5,567 copper. Really? The chap's going to be so happy, isn't he? There you go. That gives you 105 gold, 6 silver, and 7 copper left. There you go. He's less than abused when you pay him in 5,500 copper. But anyway,
Penny. I'm standing in the counter. There's a big queue for me. Yeah, I'll be in a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4.
But anyway, there we go. Jelsa's at the orphanage. Okay. Yeah. So basically, well, I suppose. Isn't that nice?
And on the way, I'll stop at whatever bakery or pastry shop or whatever and buy a bunch of sweet junk to give the orphan kids and hang out with them.
Sounds good to me. No problem at all there. Yes, that shouldn't be a problem. It'll only cost you about 20 or 30 gold. Not for the pastries, just for the record. That was for
me.
Yes.
What's 20 or 30 gold in silver? Because I could do with lowering the amount of silver I've got.
Put you in this is why I love the shop tool, because I just pick a shop and pop you in it. Then open up your character sheet. We'll call it 30 gold then, because you're foraging. It's probably 100 silver actually, thinking about it. 30 gold.
100 silver.
It'd be 300
Maybe 300.
silver. Yeah,
300 silver.
Yeah.
Do you want me to just roll to the amount then?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Because I can do that in my head actually.
Yay! We did maths and stuff. How long will that take? Ish.
Just a day or so.
Cool.
Just enough time for people to relax and rest for a bit and socialise and see people and possibly study here or do any research they may or may not want to do.
Well, I reckon we need to spend a bit of time prepping for a big journey like this. Sparkle Tits, you wanted to use my cottage for making some stuff, didn't they?
Yeah, but that would probably take a couple of weeks. How much time are we going to hang out here?
Well, that's a very long way to go. I reckon we need to make sure we got horses, we got wagons, we got plenty of food for journey. I mean, when I suggested taking a boat before, you said absolutely not because of stunty. But sensible thing would be to get a boat to Riddleport and then maybe go upriver from Riddleport. But we can't do that because of stunty. So we're going to have to go over land, and that's going to take a bloody long time.
Will you fly?
I know that. But you've been wanting to work on some stuff for a while. I don't know how long it's going to take to do research. Broderick Quink might get us some more stuff, find out about where this place is that we're going. I think we could do with a couple of weeks off.
Yeah.
Well, nobody else seems to be disagreeing.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, yeah. As far as you're aware, there's no current threats or reasons to be in a rush. Doesn't mean there isn't.
I would quite like to have a little bit of time off. Give me some quality time with Lucinda. Like that.
There we go.
We can get Lucinda's dad to look into this place for us a bit more.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd be willing to, especially as I just gave him a really big present.
Indeed.
He might be able to find out something about this Runeforge thing or this Zin or whatever.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Yeah, you keep telling me not to rush in without thinking about stuff, Sparkle Tips. Well, let's find out as much as we can about this place before we bloody well go there.
Fine with hanging out for a while. I just, hate to get in the middle of a job and then have to leave it behind.
Well, we'll wait till you're done then, won't we? Unless, you're going to take years or get bored and wander off halfway through and then not go back to it.
Well, it's kind of hard to say. Are we going back to your farm then?
Well, can do. I was going to go and see Artemiko, but yeah, I'll take the back to farm.
Well, we can go to the farm at the end of the day. We can spend the day in the village and go to the farm to sleep at night. We've not been there for a while. It probably makes
Well,
sense.
it would be safe enough for me to stay at the farm by myself during the day and work, right?
Oh, aye.
Well, then before we head back to the farm, we need to, lay in some supplies like real food, not rations.
Absolutely. We should probably stock the place up if we're going to stay there for a few weeks. Can
Aye.
we buy food between us to stock up the farm to feed us for a couple of
We've
weeks?
all got
proper
our
food?
horses, so we can load, for
Yeah,
a
we can
few
load up
days.
the horses.
Yes.
Because just because the creepy guy was the one that bought the horses for us, it's not the horses' fault.
Forgotten about the creepy guy. Here, have some nice weapon. Here, have some horses. Next adventure. Here, let me kill you.
Well, we killed him. I frankly wanted to kill him right from the start, but hey, nobody wanted to
To
hear
be
me.
honest, it's going to be a couple of gold pieces looking at food. Food seems to be relatively cheap around here, so it should be relatively straightforward. So, what magic item are you planning upon working upon?
Well, I want to create an ear cuff for each member of the party that I can imbue with the mind link.
Clever.
We have a dedicated item that's just
Okay,
is being
the crafted with the artificer edge,
which I have. And I have the materials. That's why I needed the farm, because I have in my inventory a silver cup, a silver goblet inlaid with opals. And my intent is to remove the opals, melt down the goblet, use the melted silver to fashion the ear cuffs, set each one with an opal, and then imbue the power.
It's basically making a wand of a different shape, really, isn't it? Because it will then
it
cast.
is. The only thing I would say is obviously you will have to get someone else to melt down the cup and make the earrings, won't that you? Because you don't have the repair skill.
Well, I can have the smith here make the cuffs themselves.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
So I will do that.
I mean, the funny thing is, I mean, there may be a dwarven smith somewhere, and don't they like really love us since we gave them back their crown and sent a few dwarfs home?
This makes 5. Okay, so success makes 500 towards its completion, and a raise makes 1,000. So what we're looking at here is, let's have a look. We are looking at Mind Link, which costs 1 power point. You can't do the long distance link, so it's only 1 power point.
But to do 5 of them.
Okay, so that's 5 power points. So the current commit any item listed with the book in the artifice down to the way it actually says you can only make the items in the book, but that's by the by. Downtime enchanted to access spells. The item only quality spells to give permanent armor must be a masterwork. Potions, scroll, and wands are no additional cost, but other permanent items should be of exceptional examples, should cost 50% more than usual. So let's just say, because obviously the quality you need it, although it's going to break down the silver goblet, it's going to cost you 50 gold as well, just to pay him to make it of good quality. The artificer must.
Let me go ahead and deduct that first.
Yeah.
I get
To do the access craft. Workshop is simple. The only problem is I don't think there's any wand that. That's the only issue, technically speaking. So the real question comes down to is.
Can you make it like an amulet?
No,
Well,
yeah,
it's not that.
Just you put power in it, and it's got that many charges.
Except when you craft, well, that's easy enough. Jelsa can certainly do that without having. She can just imbue, but that holds up power points. However, permanent crafting takes longer. But the problem is, they've written it as yes, you can craft any magic item that's in the book. Obviously, it doesn't have a rules for creating your own.
Well, we'll just have to make up our own flipping rule. I'm a gnome. Do you think gnomes live by the rules of Galarian? Really?
That's not the point.
Yeah, but I'm sure if you look through items, you might find a sending stone.
You want page 218 and page 219?
What's that?
It tells you the cost to make a wand, because basically you'll make it. If you make it as a wand, it's got 25 charges, and it casts Mind Link 25 times.
Yeah, but there's nothing of sending either. That's the problem. Yeah, it's not. I don't think it is though, because it's the idea is.
Well, in theory, what I would do, because in order to cast the Mind Link power, you want to use something that they're wearing close to their ears. That's why when I cast it on Irina, I cast it on her headband. But the guys would look kind of funny wearing headbands. So I just need something that I can cast the power on, and then I can just cast the power as needed. Just give them the ear
Well, to
cuffs.
be honest, the thing is about it
Mundane.
is you don't need to give them individual items because Mind Link is you cast it, you choose it. So technically, you can just as Rannick said, Travis says, is you can just craft the wands of Mind Link. That's 25.
But they can be in the shape of an ear cuff.
Well, no, what I'm trying to say is it's basically if you craft a wand, it has 25 charges, but that means it will cost you. That will get you 5 uses of Mind Link before it consumes the charge. But then it only lasts when what she wants is permanent, isn't it? So that's why I don't think it wants to be that.
Why don't you make it that she can recharge it?
Don't have a problem with that. I like the idea of it. I was just trying to work out.
Probably should have consulted you on this outside the game, but
Yep, you just derailed the entire session now. Hope you're happy.
in the meantime, Rannick and I have discussed this any number of times, have we not, Rannick?
And I said you ought to check the kevs.
Yeah.
Well, it's a novice power, so a single charge, one power point is 1 times 1 times 25, so it's 25 gold pieces per charge. So to make a fully charged wand times 25, that's your fully charged one, and then
after 25 minutes, it's drained and crumbles to dust.
Do you mean 25 uses?
No, 25 rounds, because each use will take up 5 charges to cast it on all of you, and that only lasts 5 rounds, doesn't it?
But I don't need a wand to cast it. I have that power myself.
Exactly. So you don't.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying. Is you just cast
but
it.
we can't.
Well, I'm just making them the silver ear cuffs because I've already paid for them as a gift, and then when I cast it, that's the direction I cast in. With targeting each of their ear cuffs should get it to Cleon. make sure I hit
You don't
that.
have to target anything. It's just literally it creates a telepathic connection between two individuals.
In
Oh, it lasts 30
in
minutes.
my own little gnomish mind, this is
Okay.
what I want to do.
Well, that's fine then. In that case, yeah, you just have to get them crafted. You don't have to. It's not a magic item. You don't have to do anything with, as it were.
Okay, let's find it.
But equally, if you want to spend the fortnight, you can make potions of pretty much any kind you like.
Exactly. That's the point. You can make any magic item in the rule book if you want. Is what I was trying to say.
Well,
As long as you've got the powers that are needed for it.
Yeah.
tomorrow afternoon I'll be giving you something, so you should probably know that. Here, Jelsa.
So, you've got the artificers. If you want to create something else, now's your chance.
Well, now I've needed time to think about it.
Well, you could always do it when you come back from this one.
Or we could do what everybody else is doing in their downtime to give it the time to think.
Indeed. Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
yes,
I think
okay,
it's
you've got
that's
2
the-
weeks downtime. So what are you guys doing for your downtime?
Yeah, I think it's some variation of sending stone is what you're after. But that's
sending
it's a-
stone. Yeah,
it's-
but it isn't though, because it really isn't necessary because Jelsa can just cast it if that makes sense. Whereas a wand so she doesn't have to use up power points, I can understand, and that's not a problem because crafting a wand, yes, we can calculate that. So is that if you just want to basically be able to do mind link without spending power points, you could certainly create a wand of mind link, Jelsa.
Sure, I can do that.
So that
No, but I can. But with the wand, I can let anybody else use the wand to use it, like what they need. Like now,
Exactly.
can Rannick use it? Because it's Rannick that's usually off by himself, getting himself killed, that needs to scream for help and can't.
Oh, and by the way, we can
I
also
was trying to say, if you make it into the ear cuff as a wand, then other people can call you rather than you having to be the one that casts it all the time.
It's like a hands-free kit.
Well, I'm going to at least make one for Rannick because he's the one usually running off and getting himself hurt.
The cost of the wand is equal to the cost per charge, so it's basically multiplied by the number of charges. So obviously it's one. So mind link's 1 power point.
625.
So it's another spell. So that's
Listening to you, Tavis.
a wand. Yeah, no, 600. I'm just trying to work out. Yeah, I get 25. So the cost of the wand is equal to the cost per charge using the same formula. Scrolls on page 218. I just want to get it right in my head as well. So so it's 25 power. It's the cost of the scroll is equal to the rank times the number of power points in use, then multiply. So it's 25 by 25, isn't it? Simple as that.
Yeah, it's
I'd
1 times
just
1
like to-
times 25 times 25.
Yeah.
this would be a good time to say if somebody wrote an extension where you could make magic items, that would be great.
Off you go then.
Yeah, because you add the
You
costs
walked into
together.
that.
So, how much does it cost to just do a wand for Rannick, who's most likely the one to need to scream?
Do you mean an ear cuff that's being tooled as a wand? Yeah.
Yeah, 625 gold.
That's it.
And either
And a
2 weeks with a success or 1 week with a raise on your crafting.
Yeah. Because it's a novice power, 25 charges. So it's a novice power, so it's 25 gold pieces per charge. You can do a maximum of 25 charges, so that's 625 gold.
Okay. So if I do that now, what did I have to roll?
Spellcasting, I believe.
Yeah. And I believe you can make potions at the same time.
Okay, so after 1 week, you've completed 500
Why does that
gold.
come through as a pearl? That wasn't a pearl that I gave you. I wrote great load stuff. It's actually something I just had made for you. The pearl's set in it. That's irritating. It's a silver circlet made to fit you with a pearl in the centre.
Okay, I'll find it.
It seems to have come through to you just as a pearl. I have no idea why.
Okay, I lost the train of thought there. So,
Second spellcasting roll.
after each week, it's up to you. If you want to go for the raise, if you want to try and get a raise, then you create the item in 1 week as opposed to 2 weeks. It's up to you. But a critical failure and you lose fight.
No, I'll 2 weeks is fine because Brannick wanted to take his own sweet time getting stuff together.
I'm just looking at the example here. So she wants to make a spider climbing that costs 2,400, and the crafting cost. So Linny has breaks work. She gets there's 500 gold points for creation, so that now she rolls the potion of healing successful. What's that cost? Yeah, that does strike me as a bit odd. It looks like you get 1 roll per fight. That doesn't make sense. The example there. The slippers cost 2,400 and the potion is 150. So she gathers together 2,000. Oh, by the way, you do have to cross off 500 gold pieces for this week. By the way.
Okay, that's not a problem.
No, because the idea is, you spend a whole week using 500 gold pieces worth of donating 500 gold from my Twitch fork to the party. And you just noticed that. The slippers cost that. After each work, she rolls and gets that's 500 gold. Now she rolls for the potion of healing. She is successful. I don't get how she's able to do. Oh, she has access to a standard workshop and create 2 things at once. That's what it is. Why can she make 2 things at once?
Because she's got a standard workshop. If you've got a basic workshop, which is like traveling on the road, you can only make 1 thing at once.
Yeah.
A standard workshop lets you work on 2 things at once, and a really well set up grand workshop allows you to make 3 things at once.
Well, I would say
Think of it like your cook has got more than one hob.
Yes, but I would say basically Rannick's farm is just a simple workshop unless you really rebuild it to be a dedicated. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
But that's fine. So, in the meantime, what's everyone else doing in their week of downtime? You can carouse, you can centre, you can earn, you can you can enchant like Jelsa is. You could train, you could research, which some people might, or you can rest. Of course.
Any properties for sale?
Interesting one. Possibly that's sort of outside the personal time. That starts coming into a whole separate D20 rulebook they haven't done yet called Ultimate Campaign. But you actually do they do actually have all sorts of interesting roles for that sort of thing. Why you after buying a house?
Well, all the time. It might be nice to have some roots.
It's kingdom building. No. Downtime. Building. Apparently in D20 there was building. Building is physical where you as a physical structure you construct or purchase such as a house, inn or temple. Well, there are see rooms or teams. So
no problem with constructing it myself.
Yeah. That's quite interesting. So there's there's a whole section of rules under game mastering other rules. I don't know where it came from. A big line in personal projects and kingdom building. Building build points, business capital, day, gaining capital. The building is a whole separate thing. See rooms and teams. This is obviously me looking at D20, of course. Each room and team costs more times goals when you can for common room designated for. It's a whole situation. God, that's a lot of description there. Please show me there's something as simple as a house. Okay, a bedroom. Oh God, yeah. Brewery, burial ground, cell, common room, confessional, courtyard, crypt, defensive wall, dock, dojo, drawbridge, execution yard, farmland, forge, game room, garden, gatehouse, greenhouse, grotto, habitat, hatchery, infirmary. God no, they don't actually have it by single. Lodging. Here we go. Size 20 to 35 squares. Upgrades from bunks. That's an interesting system. Yeah, I don't know how much a house would cost. Anyone got any idea of medieval house prices?
Well, you could always equate it to something else and multiply. Think of a modern house price compared to a modern item that's in this system, and then work out the times of the value, the multiplication of the value. I don't know, so many times the cost of a horse or something, I don't know.
Oh, and don't tell Rannick, but remember I had 5 of those ear cuffs made with the opals? And since I'm only doing one as a wand, I'm going to tuck the others away for some future use, except for one. I'm going to take it to Amiko and, without telling either her or Rannick, give her a matching ear cuff.
Oh.
You add up the cost listed in the create entries, the interims, and pay that amount to the current owner. For a friendly traveller, in describe the cost as 1,390. So let's have a look at the end. Okay, so a lodging. So that's a family. A lodging was a family cottage, as it were. House. Here we are. 1 bedroom, 1 kitchen, 1 lavatory, 1 sewer access, 1 sitting room, and 1 storage. That's a small cottage that can house up to 2 new. That can house up to 2 adults or a new family. 1,290 gold.
That's what I was going to make.
What?
Rannick, but finding it for me. Now I just need to know what I need
I'm
to
going to
do.
buy a house.
Okay. By all means, okay.
I have a whole bunch of little vials in my
There you go.
was collected a million years ago. Remember in the very first part, the lady that gave me the pretty colored bottles?
Sorry about that.
I want to make some dust of appearance and put it in a couple of those bottles for Rannick.
Dust of appearance is 900 gold, so that would be that would mean 625 plus 900 is obviously 1525. So you've got 1025 if you do the dust of one will cost you 900, so that will add another, that will take you up to a third week. Obviously you got 1020 if you're making one, you've got 1025 gold pieces to go if you're making 1 dust of appearance. If you're making 2 dusts of appearance,
And I can make them, and it still only
Doesn't it
extends
cost
it out to
half
3
that?
weeks.
Doesn't it cost half that for manufacturing though?
crafting is 900 gold.
Yeah, you can sell it
Okay.
double.
Yeah, the selling price is 1,800, but crafting it is 900 gold. You just have to be able to cast Detect Arcana, which I do believe Jelsa can.
Which I can, and that's what I want to make.
Yeah.
I want to put 2 little glass vials full of this dust and give them to Rannick.
Okay. In that case, are you sure you don't want to spend a raise on your rolls? Because if you get the raises, it's 1,000 a week. But that's fine. Okay, so anyway, Rannick not being the sort to go research and knowing he's not very good at it, pays product quaint to look into room forges, if that's the only thing you whatnot, whatever's in could be up on a mountain. That's fine. Rannick spends the first week centering himself, sending Sandpoint guard out and seeing if he goes to center. Okay, so Rannick spends a week centering himself and gains a point of conviction. Jelsa spends the week enchanting.
How much do I need to pay a Brodart Quint to do the research for me?
Oh, we'll worry about that at the end.
Okay.
If I spend 2,000 gold, can I have the furniture to go in the house?
Yes.
Thank you. I now have a house. Cool.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? Don't think by all means add it to your character sheet. Just don't put a weight on it.
Yeah.
What's Dondrad and Bert up to?
Well, the first week, Bert is going to center as well.
Okay. That's an extra point of conviction for Bert. Dondrad, what are you doing for your first week?
Aye, so the first week I centred as well.
For a point of conviction. Okay. Arena spent the week. I'm going to put that down as. Well, it obviously isn't centering as such because she's probably. Whatever the goal is, it's inner peace and happiness. No, I would say buying a house is centering. Because you're basically going out and you're making a place for you to be happy in, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and a secure place, a safe
exactly.
place to return.
A safe place. Yeah. So basically, I'm going to say, Arena, for your first week, that you are centering yourself by setting up down roots and having somewhere to fight for and somewhere to look forward to coming back to and everything like that. So that's good. Okay, so for the second week, Jelsa, you get to make your next enchanting roll.
I can Benny that, right?
You can certainly Benny that. Okay, so that means you're down to that's another 500 gold, and you're down to 1425 to go if you're doing 2 dusts of appearance.
I'm doing 2 dusts of appearance, so however many weeks I
get. So this week you finished your wand. This week you finish your ear cuff of Mind Link, so that's built. And now you've started on your first metallic powder for the dust of appearance. What's everyone else doing for this week?
I'm going to continue to centre. I'm going to take duty with the Sandpoint Guard and revel in the fact that Rannick is being seen as a respected and liked person in Sandpoint.
Actually, when the game master decides there's a downtime at least 1 week, you can choose one of the following activities. Actually, you do it for as long as it takes, actually. Really reading that. It's at least, I think you get 1 week, and it's a minimum of a week's downtime, but you spend that whole time centering yourself. As you say, you can still tell me what you're doing this week, but it all counts towards your centering, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm afraid. Sorry, having reread it again. Unless an option says otherwise, it can only be gained once regardless. Okay, so that's fine. So you can do something, that could argue you could do something different then. Unless an option says otherwise, it can only be gained once. So actually, I will be allowed, depending, I will say, what I'll say is, actually, because Jelsa's still spending a week, what did you say you were going to do? Sorry, I was reading the rules while you were talking.
I was going to volunteer with the Sandpoint Guard and revel in the fact that Rannick is being seen not as that scummy half-orc that isn't the one that cleans up the gutters, but as somebody to almost be respected and liked in Sandpoint. So he's enjoying the fact that he's got a place to be.
Okay.
Doesn't want paying for it because he doesn't need to pay.
Okie dokie, that's fine. Well, obviously, I'm going to say that's going to be hero must make a relevant roll. 3 scoundrels fighting. Okay, let's have a fighting check from you, please.
A fighting check, okay.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to treat it as earnings, but you're not going to take the money, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're obviously very good at it.
There is no crime in Sandpoint this week.
That would have been. You'd have been paid 800 gold for this week if you'd taken the money.
Yeah, Rannick, I am the law.
Dondrad.
Right. So, what are the choices since my PDF has just crashed?
Well, you can carouse. You can go earn some money. You can enchant. You could train. You can do some research, or you can just rest.
I should probably go off and. So we managed to find out the information that we need to go, didn't we?
No.
Rannick's paid Brodok Quint, but if you want to
He wants
research,
Right.
that's probably a good idea.
Well, let's roll. Let's do a research and support
Yeah,
him.
you'll spend a week researching with Bronick. Go for it.
I'll look up the Dwarven Atlas of Mountains.
Okay, so I'm going to make that. That's the equivalent of plus his 11. So that will be enough. I'm going to make that 11 plus, ignoring your 4, make that 15. That's 1 success and 2 raises on the research roll. I'm just going to count how many, you know what I mean? So I'm going to sort of have you doing a fudged version of a group research roll, as anyone who does research will increase the total research for each, as it were. So that's fine. So, Arena's obviously bought the house this week. She's furnishing the house, and what's Bird up to?
This week, Bert is going to do a little carousing. He wants to kind of get to know the people a little bit.
Okay, so that's going to cost you 400 gold to spend a week carousing, but that obviously makes you very popular in the town. You basically.
Can I interrupt on that? Because Rannick would have earned 800 gold,
Yes.
and I was thinking of Rannick carousing next week to get a favour in Sandpoint. Can that 800 that Rannick earned effectively cover Bert and Rannick carousing, because Rannick's built up monetary favours already that he's just said, yeah, Bert's my mate. You sort Bert out. He's all right. He is.
Okay, I like it. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Okay, so basically, Bert, the net result is you gain a local favour you can call in any time. So there you go. You could call that in any time. So you could possibly call it in now if need be. But anyway, that's fine. So week number 3, Jelsa, off you go.
One more roll, huh?
If you get a raise,
you did get a raise. So that is that's 1,000. That costs you 1,000 gold this week, but that's very well done. That means you're down to 425 outstanding. You complete one set of one pile of dust of appearance, as it were, and you're already started. You also get started on the second. So basically, next week you'll be done. So what's everyone else up to on your third week? Obviously, you've had some houses. Yeah, so Radek, at the end of this week, you also gain a favour.
Yeah.
Arena, you've got the house. You purchased the house and you've got it furnished. What do you want to do this week?
I want to spend time practicing flute with my music book and my flute in my house.
You got performance. No, you're just
Right from the very beginning. Yeah, I just want to improve.
Cool. Okay. Jane, you can practice specific skill and attribute to temporarily increase its effectiveness. Okay. Afterwards, you get 1 free reroll when failing that skill for 1 entire encounter. Okay, so basically, you spend the week practicing with your flute and your performance. So basically, you gain a free reroll in performance the next time there you go. What about Bert?
Bert is going to spend this week taking people out hunting, doing a little photo shoot, but obviously not with cameras. Basically, taking people out to show them the animals and things like that.
Mm-hmm. I can say I'll say that for all intents and purposes, you treat that as training, couldn't you, for yourself, as it were? Because you're probably using the skills you'll be improving your skills by taking other people out.
Okay, yeah. And that'll apply to survival.
Survival, yep. So you gain a free survival reroll, basically. Just make a note somewhere. Conrad. We lost the dwarf.
That even helps. So have we figured out where we're going yet?
Well, I mean, you and Broderick have both put. You and Broderick have. I mean, Broderick's been putting in a couple of weeks worth of training, and you're still working through stuff. I mean, there's probably more that you can find out if you want to spend another week researching.
Well, is there fish in the lake we're looking for? Look, let's consult J.R. Hartley.
I like that. Okay. That gets you to 3 raises. And the fourth and final week, unless you bugger this one up, Chelsea, you'll complete your second dust of appearance. So make your spellcasting roll.
I'm looking for a book. Fly Fishing by J.R. Hartley.
So that will cost you your 425 gold for this week, and you have successfully made two dusts of appearance and one ear cup of mind link.
Now, I wasn't keeping track. What was my sum total on gold that I owe totally?
1925.
Okay.
And did the gift actually come through right, or did it come through wrong?
All I've got is a pearl.
Can you just change its name? Because I got it made for you into a circlet.
Yeah, it's very nice. Righty ho, so that's good. What's everyone else doing for their final week?
I'll help with the research this week.
Okay, let's go for it.
Is that academics or
Academics or research? Yeah.
Sasmodian? Okay.
Academics is research, isn't it? In Pathfinder. Yeah, so it's academics. I forget.
I think I'm going to Benny that because that sucks. Oh, come on. That'll do.
Actually,
At least
that's interesting. Yeah, that's successful. That's interesting, actually. A character can spend downtime developing or learning new powers. This doesn't permanently give her the power, but allows her to use any spell or miracle from the available powers list for one entire encounter. So you could do that instead of your. But you've got the ability to do one for a Benny anyway, so
yeah.
And it doesn't have a -2 penalty. Okay, yep, we'll give you the success for that one. Rannick, Burton, Dondrad, what are you doing this final week?
I would like to call in my favour
Okay.
with places such as Ween's Wagons and the Goblin Squash Stables and the meat market and so on to get us provisioned for this this expedition. Possibly even calling in a favour, talking to the mayor about how we've done a lot for Sandpoint and maybe we're going to be doing an awful lot for Varizia. If you could see your way to helping us still get provisions ready and stuff like that, it'd be very welcome.
But one of the few times Jelsa actually pops up in town is to when they're shopping, because she tells them, and make sure it's quality stuff. We earn the quality stuff, right? Like, it's good ale.
So you only get to call in one favour because you've only earned one favour. So who are you going to call it in with?
I think I'll call it in with the mayor, because then the mayor can call them in with everybody else.
Okay, that sounds good. So yeah, you'll get enough provisions for the journey. But
Bert is going to do some research on a smite spell.
Oh, go for it then.
I just get to cast it at
Yeah.
I just can cast it at -2 for one encounter.
That's correct. Yeah, you don't have to roll. No. Technically, yeah. Finding research can be used to real deep information about a subject. No trait rolls is required, but I'm letting you roll to increase how much information you can find out. Because the more successes and raises you get, the more information you get in the next section. And Dawn of the Dread is last. You've got a group roll of 20 on your academics so far.
Right, I shall basically practice fighting then.
You're going to train in fighting, okay?
Training fighting, so.
Yep, that gives you a 3 reroll on fighting in one 3 reroll in fighting. Okie dokie. Well, it's been quite a productive week all round.
Month even.
Yeah, month even. So, success 1, 2, 3, 4 raises. You actually get all the information you could possibly get about the Rune Forge. So the Runeforge was created as a place where agents of the 7 Runelords could gather to study magic. The Runelords wove wards around the Runeforge that barred entrance into the complex to any Runelord or his direct agents to keep the research within free from sabotage from the hands of an enemy. The Runeforge's magical enhancements sustained those within without the need to eat, drink, or even sleep. The spires of Jin Shalast stand upon the mythical mountain of Mahar Massif. The mountain of legendary proportions pierces the sky above the corridors. It is said to be the highest peak in the entire range of stupendously inhospitable mountains. The final project of the Runelords set the Runeforge was on the development of the ways that the Runelords could escape the imminent fall of their empire. Each faction developed a unique answer for its Runelord based upon the underlying principles of that faction's magical traditions. What you do find most fascinating with all the research is absolutely nothing anywhere has any idea where the Runeforge was. It would appear it appears only the scribbler knew of its location, which you did discern already, but you have found out all the information you can really about the Runeforge lore.
Any chance these shops have got new stock in this last month, so we can
Yes, why not? Seems
get
perfectly
potions
reasonable, doesn't it?
we go as well.
Okay. Purchasing magic items. Start here. Let's treat it as a large city for a change, because you're having a. Let's see what we get. 4 potions of healing. A scroll of fear with area effect of a large burst template. 2 scrolls of fear with area effect of a large burst template, in fact. A magical weapon, which I'll sort out in a minute. Gloves of storing. A shield, a magical shield. Which is quite interesting, really, isn't it? I'll just keep going through it.
Lying on my phone, JJ.
Another magical shield. Okay, 2 magic. Okay, so all told, let's get rid of this one. So all told, I'm just going to. Okay. So we've got a total. Oh, okay. So, weapon with a total of 3 enchantments.
Ooh.
Okay, let's determine the weapon type. It's a one-handed. It's a warhammer.
The dwarf's ears perk up.
Indeed. Okay, so it's a.
It's made of stone. He can't use it.
Okay, it's a warhammer. Okay. So that makes it a melee weapon with a total of 3 enchantments. Okay. Yeah, why not? Yeah, why not?
You can change its size at will. It can turn into anything from a toffee hammer to a 2-handed battle hammer.
It's okay. It's a warhammer of speed.
Ooh, that's nice.
Oh.
It basically is a warhammer, a frenzied warhammer, basically.
That's a terrifying thought.
So then that would mean it would cost 312. My word, I don't think anyone can afford it.
That's all right. Unless you're going to take coppers for it, I'm broke anyway.
So that would definitely be in Savar's armory. So if we go to the weapons of Savar's armory, and I add in the Warhammer of Speed, then it goes.
Although inadvertently we now have the power to share power points between the
At
party.
16,312 gold pieces. I'm going to
Oh, I
change
can
that down.
afford that.
I can afford it. I don't want
So
it.
you couldn't actually. I'm not saying you couldn't, but anyway. Okay, let's do the shields. Oh, drat it! I closed the wrong thing. Shield with a total of 2 enchantment. Currently, you cannot create a shield with a 2 enchantment, so now she'll be more enchantments in the future. You're going to have to use the following instead of shield with 1 enchantment. Okay. Okay, it is a heavy shield. Okay. A deflecting, energy resistant heavy shield. It's interesting.
What's it resist? What does it resist, though?
That's the good question, isn't it? Something I haven't worked out. Grants introduces a single energy type, determined at creation, personal shield. Fire. Okay, so that is a heavy shield. Deflect. Yeah. So okay, so it's master crafted. I can never remember what happens when it's master.
Reduces the minimum strength requirement for it.
Yeah, no, it's not that. It's what the cost is.
That's 300.
No, 300's a weapon. Shields are different. Shields cost an extra 300 as well. I apologise. Okay, deflecting makes it cost 4,000. It's energy resistant makes it cost 6,320 for a heavy shield. Deflecting fire resistance, basically. Nice. There you go. Obviously, that would also be in Sava's armory, won't it? So I've lost the shop. Where's the shop come? That goes on the armor tab, like so. So that's 6,320 gets you that. A shield with a total of 3 enchantments, which means I have to. I've got too many windows open. That's the only problem with this.
Here, light shield.
Shield with total of 3 enchantments. Determine the shield type. Here we go. It is a light shield.
Yay!
Okay. So now I can open up the light shield. Okay, so it is a master crafted light shield. So where's my enchantments gone? It's master crafted light shield. I forgot to reduce the minimum strength on that other shield if anyone does buy it for the record. Okay. Then it is oh, what the hell? I'm nice. It costs 10,305 gold pieces.
Whoa!
It's an animated light shield.
Ooh!
I have no idea what that means.
It means it can fly.
Whoa.
Okay, so that's that. Now that's Savar's armory. So 2 shields and thingy. They've been added into shops. We go again, and Bottled Solutions has got 5 potions of healing. At that price, they're 5 potions of major healing. Okay, and then the Feathered Serpent has got gloves of storing, a scroll, 2 scrolls of fear with area of effect, a scroll of growth, and that's your lot. So that's the
I
shop stocked.
can't find the shops, but I would like to get some of those healing potions.
Bottled solutions.
Yes, please.
Did that work?
No.
Shops
I'm
is
sure
under
it's just.
campaign on the right hand side.
Is it under items? Oh no, there it is. I looked down that list and totally missed it. I've obviously gone blind.
That's okay.
There we are.
I have put you into the shop, so you should be able to buy what you want.
Oops. Every time I put 1 in, it puts 2 in. That's
Well,
weird.
Yeah. There should be 4. So it's because what you do is you put 1 in and then you're meant to use the numbers to increase them.
Oh, in that case, I'll do that. But still, I put in 2 and it was 4. So that's just weird.
Yeah. If there's anything else you want to buy, now's the time to buy it.
I'm having a quick
I'd
look
like to
to
go
see
to
what.
the serpent, please.
You want to go to the Feathered Serpent.
Pardon me.
Rennick wants to go to the Feathered Serpent. I was trying to add you to the armory by mistake.
I'll be going to Armory later.
Okay, you're in the Feathered Serpent.
I would like to buy their gloves of story.
Interesting, and there's no description for those.
Yeah, they're basically mini bags of holding.
Yeah.
No, it's not that. It's just when they copied across from the thingy, they obviously didn't.
I'm finished. I've got what I want in my basket.
That didn't work. Let me do that again. Okay. What if you're going to buy those? Fine. Let me. I'll give you the one with the full description rather than one in the shop. For some reason, that's not working. If that makes sense.
It does
Okay.
indeed.
So then purchase should be 10,000 gold. So that should leave you with 20. It did the numbers wrong, didn't it? I don't know why I put it in as 1,000. So that leaves you with 20,000, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Then I don't. And then if we go down to hang on, you're wearing gloves of swimming and climbing. You'll have to take those off.
I will, but I can change the gloves that I'm wearing at different times, can't I?
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. Okay. That gets you out there. Okay, so back to Bottled Solutions.
One of
have
each.
you completed your purchases?
I have. I am ready to go to the checkout. Thank you very much.
Okay, you go to the checkout with basically with 15,836 gold pieces come back. I do like that. It's manual, but I still like it. It's very nice. Okay, anyone else want to go shopping?
I want to go to Saba's Armory now. Because I want that animated shield.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. You're in the armory. Anything else?
No, that's it.
It'd be weird because surely you could use 2 shields then.
For 3 rounds, yes.
There we go.
Thank you.
You'd only get the higher parry of the 2 of them, though, wouldn't you? Parries wouldn't stack.
I'm not sure, actually.
Well, technically speaking, don't forget, I ignore the rule of Fantasy Grounds in that basically shields can only parry half the attacks against you, can't they? And on one side, because it's too much faff to faff around with that, so I don't worry about that. But anyway, does anyone else want to do any shopping?
I wanted to go to Bottled Solutions and get some healing potions.
Bottled Solutions to get some healing potions. There we are. You are in Bottled Solutions. I'll be spend your copper and your silvers.
Why does it do 2 of them at a
Because
time?
you're not supposed to do it that way. You drag one in and then you use the little thing at the top to move it up or down.
Oh, okay. Well, I want 4.
There's only 2 left.
Oh, well, of the ones I was dragging across, there have been 4 listed.
There should only be 2 left because Arena bought 3 of them. So you
Well,
can
then
have
I'll take the last 2.
There was 2 different lots of them in there when I picked mine. There was some left over from last time, and the
Oh
ones you
yes, I
had.
see what you mean. I apologise. Yes,
And
that's why it
that's
gets.
where I was dragging them.
That's why it's adding 2 in. Okay, hence my confusion. Let me just make it into 6. That's why it was adding 2 in, because I didn't when you dragged one, it didn't know which one to do, so it was dragging them both in. If that makes sense.
It
So there you go.
does.
Still doing 2, but
Yeah, it's because I'd already dragged it in for you.
I didn't drag one in.
No, I did.
Just to be really.
Not enough funds, so let's put the gold in as well. And there you go. So your exact change is you have spent all your copper. You've got 7 copper left, 6 silver left, and you've got 1, 2, 5, 7, 2 gold pieces left. There you go. Aren't you lucky? Anyone else want to do any shopping before you go? Right. The shops are closing. That's half the windows on my screen so I can see what I'm up to. Okay. Okay, so next. Introduction. The method by which the heroes travel to Rimskull is irrelevant. By this point, the adventurers should be able to utilise options like greater teleport to reach the shores of Lake Stormunder. So there we are. Apparently, I mean, unless I want to really throw in extra stuff, you have an uneventful journey. To Lake Stormunder. It takes a period of time that I'm not worrying too much about, although I did have a calendar somewhere which I long forgot to keep up to date, so that's a shame. I'm terrible at that sort of thing. I've also forgotten that I'm supposed to be keeping track of certain things. I've completely forgot after the first adventure, so I'll just make it up as I go along. Righty-ho! So we'll fade to black and have some stirring music and a red line moving up the map of Varisia, and then we'll fade back and the music can fade out. From the craggy eastern shoreline of Lake Stormunder, the ground rises into the craggy snow-dappled roots of Rimskull, casting its long shadow over this area. Yet not all of the ground here is rugged and mountainous. Several hundred feet from the lake's edge, the land suddenly levels off to create a circular hill. Rocks and tenacious shrubs poke through the scattered clumps of snow here, but they are dwarfed by the ring of 7-foot-tall stone heads. Okay, let's turn on certain people's phobias.
Yay!
A ring of 7-foot-tall stone heads that circle the hill's edge, their faces angled inwards at each other, mouths agape. To the east, the sheer mountainside of Rimskull rises, icy and wind-blasted. 200 feet above leers a carving of an ancient face, its gaping mouth forming a large cave entrance in the mountainside.
You have to walk into its open mouth. Oh, you're gonna love that.
A 12-foot-high stairway of stone descends from the cave to a ledge only 60 feet to the east of the circle of stone faces.
I think we've just found the place where Rannick's worst nightmares are located.
Oh, and before we go in, once we get our first look of it, I'm going to pull Rannick aside and go, Rannick, just in case I had made some things for you back there, and while I was hanging out at the farm and you guys were all hanging around town, and I'm going to pass these to him.
Hey, what's this?
Yeah, you put that on your ear, and then if you need to tell me where you are, all you got to do is, think it.
I just got to think it.
JJ, no. Sorry.
Okay.
And
Do you know
then,
where I am then? I've tried thinking. Do you know where I am? I mean, I'm standing right in front of you, so you can see.
oh, no, it's magic. Don't waste the magic on just playing around, Randy.
Okay.
And and then, and then I made 2 of these for you. So that next time you come up on something that you can't see, just like throw this at them.
How can I throw it at it if I don't know where it is?
Well, I mean, once you get the general area, it's like a dust and a coat 'em. In fact, you could do it as a favor to everybody. Also, you
Okay.
one running into stuff that what the hell.
All right. Well, thanks. So, if I want you to know where I am, think about it, and if I can't see something, throw this at it, and then I'll be able to see it, even though I can't throw it at it because I can't see it.
Well, think something like tell Jelsa or tell the others, to let it know that to send it to us.
And I talk to the thing I stick on my ear.
No, you don't talk to it. You just think it.
I think it, but I don't have to say it.
No, you don't have to say it. Just think it. Think it real loud.
Okay. I think. How do you think loud? Do you have different volumes? Really? Do you have different volumes of thinking? All my thinking's
He
exactly
looks
the
at him
same.
and raises one eyebrow and go, "Don't you?"
Righty-ho. While this
I'm thinking
conversation's
you
going
can
on,
make it screams really good. Turn around and look at those heads over there again, Randy.
Ah!
looming nearly 16,000 feet above the Lake Stormunder at the western tip of the Kodar Mountains, the mountain called Rimskull gains its fearsome name from a vaguely skull-shaped formation near the mountain's peak, visible for many miles on a clear day.
Didn't we already do a mountain shaped like a skull?
You did, didn't you? Way back. There's one off the coast of Sandpoint, isn't it? That's where all the goblins were.
Just something about skull architecture and evil
Make an
hilltops.
academics roll.
I know nothing about it.
You know nothing about it. Does Dondres want to make an academics roll?
But I did notice there were 2 of them.
You did.
It's a geology question, isn't it?
Yeah, it would be a specialty.
I'm not entirely sure why Dondrake's making an academics called Shot to Libs, but that's by the by.
I'm getting socially confused. The statue's watching me, for Christ's sake.
No one bought the Warhammer of Speed. That's a shame. The Runelords often carve depictions of their visages upon mountaintops or towering statues that watched over their cities. So that does imply that
Implies they look like skulls.
Yes. So there we go. So, for the coastal line, the ground race and all that. Okay. So, you're coming in from the east. Oh, there's a new extension. I forgot to load it. I wanted to give it a try. So there's a nice new extension out there. So basically, apparently, what happens is you set up the marching the party order on the marching and formation tab of the party sheet, and with this extension, when you drag the characters, it drops the party in the marching order onto the map, and you can then obviously rotate it depending which way you want to bring them onto the map. Because at the moment, when I drag you on, it just brings you on in a diagonal line. But anyway, let's bring you. I'm just going to put you on the map as a group. I can't believe I've got. Obviously, just when I wanted to use it, I remembered I had the extension. So there you go. Let's put you on the map and share.
Yep, that definitely looks like your worst nightmare.
I do not like this place.
So what's the proper? Don't you have to do the proper ritual in the statues to get the keys?
Yes. To say the right things to them and make the right incantations. Can we study them for clues?
Do you remember what time you had to be here?
Yeah, we had to be here at sunset.
Dusk.
Yeah, dusk.
Maybe it's
Yeah, I'll make it dusk. There you go.
the shadows do specific things.
If offered
Start.
spell,
Yeah, I might turn off the shadow. Yeah, because the line of sight is different to the shadows, isn't it? There's line of sight, and then there's shadows depending on the time.
Yeah, the shadows of this one over here, well, they were until I did that, pointed that way.
It's because they're not shadows. It's blocking line of sight. It's not actually shadows, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, right,
yeah,
okay.
See, so if you
It's just
you
'cause
go
they're
around them,
tall.
they
We're dancing! Sorry, I got carried away.
So, at sunset, the magic infusing the stone heads grows more potent to the point where it can be observed.
Well, best observe it then.
Well, how do you think you observe it?
With my magical...
if there were 8 of them, and because it says if offered spells and proper prayer, if there were 8 of them, I'd have said then each one needs a spell from a different school of magic cast on it. But there are
Hang
8
on.
schools of magic, 7 heads.
Follow my track here.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
What shape did I just make?
made a
Sahedron.
Sahedron star, yeah.
That's why there's probably 7 of them.
Yeah. So that has to be relevant.
So what's the right spell to cast on each one? It says spells or prayer. So
how do you think's the best way to determine? Well, you obviously need to observe them very specifically. But
I'm the only one that can't do it, and I'm too daft to think of it because I'm just a ranger, me.
Yeah, Radix's the only person who can't do it. Hint, hint, hint.
So Bert is going to stand here in front of this one and use his
Magic sight.
magic
Yeah.
stuff
Detect magic,
and
yeah.
observe this and see what he can see specifically in regards to this statue, and then I'm going to come over here and compare it to this statue.
Okay, so
If I take these two,
okay.
If you notice, Jelsa moved herself shortly.
Okay, Bert, can you stand in front of this statue? This one here, you said, didn't you? Okay. So
I noticed your movement, Jelsa.
would you make an occult roll as you stand? You activate your detect magic and make an occult roll. Please, Bert.
If anybody wants me to ask me questions, I'll be standing over here.
Training that, huh?
Sorry?
I should have been training my occult, huh? No, well, maybe not. Good grief.
I mean, the occult world just doesn't matter. Okay, so, with that roll, with your occult knowledge as well, you determine that this is a statue of Bellimaris? Bellimaris? I don't know. Give me a second. I'm going to edit that, turn it into that, and do that. There we go.
Bellimarius.
Bellimarius, yeah, thank you.
Yes.
So presumably we need to cast a spell from that school of magic. Is that right?
Well, either one of that or one of the opposing school.
No, because it's a gift.
Prayers and spells is a gift. So it would be if offered spells, then probably we need an abjuration spell.
Jelsa, you're standing over here.
Yeah, when I was watching the statue right from the beginning, do I need to cast Detect Arcana?
I mean, detect. Well, Detect Arcana means you can just look around the place. If you want to make an occult roll, you can identify what the statue is. With a Detect Magic on its own, you determine this is enchantment. But if you want to make an occult roll...
I
Do
don't
you
have
reckon they're safe,
No,
Stunty?
Bert did it.
You know,
Bert did it unskilled. Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting. You, I do believe, are an arcane trickster, aren't you?
Yes.
You reckon that you can, using your thievery and knowledge of arcane, as an arcane trickster, and using your thievery, you can probably trick one of these statues into believing you've cast a spell of the right school. On the assumption that what they're determining is you need to be able to cast a spell from the right school to trick it. So you reckon you might be able to trick one of these if no one can do if the theory of the schools of magic is correct.
So if we, so
is what I'm trying to say.
So if we cast a cantrip of deflection, then that should open the Bert statue.
Did you just say the Bert statue?
Aye.
Of course.
The one, yeah. The one he's standing next to. Can he cast deflection?
Yeah, I've got protection. I can cast protection on it. That's
No, not protection, deflection.
Protection is an abjuration as well.
Oh, okay, that'll do. That'll do.
And so I
I
will
really
cast
don't
the
like this,
abjuration
Stunty.
and spell of protection on this statue and see what happens.
Okay.
There shouldn't be fiddling with statues. It's not good.
Okay. You as you cast protection, it's absorbed by the statue.
This is very Fifth Element, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shh.
I'm
just never occurred to me. Hang on. So a spell with 6 statue in order to absorb the spell occurs whether or not you intend it to be. An absorb spell. Okay. So the absorb spell, basically, you cast protection on the statue. It doesn't. It literally absorbs it, so the statue is not protected. The ground vibrates as a piercing trill emanates. Oh, actually, I've got actually different sound effects for that. Oh, there. A piercing trill emanates from the head. The ground vibrates. The glow and sound fade completely after several seconds. At which point, a gold key appears in the mouth of the statue in front of you, Bert.
nice one.
Bert will pick up the gold key.
Bert picks up the gold key. Okay.
I've rolled a decent occult roll.
Yes, you have. For you're standing in front of that one over here, aren't you? You've determined you're standing in front of Zang. Oh, it's easier just to do it like this. There you go. Can I have notice checks from everyone?
Zandimal.
This is
Yes.
sound-based notice. If anyone has penalties too.
That's rather nice and harmonic.
It is actually, isn't it? Okay. Yep, that's fine. As basically the ground pulses, that chill thing sounds. The gold ring appears in the statue's thing, and some of you hear something in the distance. Didn't do it, did it? That's really depressing. Try again.
Oh,
Let's just try one more time, and then I'm going to go and cry.
oh,
That worked that time, didn't it?
yeah, I heard that.
I told you, Stunty, they've woken something up.
Well, it did say something about guardians, did it not?
Ogre, what is it? What is it? Where is it? Rannick is going to look around for the thing that growled.
You keep watch, Run.
Okay. Anyone feel like making an academics roll?
Well, I don't know. With that occult roll, Bert is feeling really smart, so.
Bloody hell.
It's the one thing Rannick read about.
Okay, Arena and Rannick. That roar, suddenly you suddenly recall that centuries ago, the local tribes around here, the Shoanti, were plagued by raids by a white dragon quite a few centuries ago, but they suddenly stopped 200 years ago, and the raids ceased.
Okay.
See, Rannick's recently taken dragons as his a new favoured enemy, so clearly he's been reading up on dragons and knows about the dragon that was in this area. There were a white dragon round here a couple hundred years ago. Maybe it had a kid. Maybe it's hatched. Bugger! Check the skies! Check the skies! There could be a dragon!
Oh, why that? Okay, fine. That was on the one in front of me.
Okay. So,
I was going to say, speak for yourself. I'm not taking my eyes off the statues. No way.
There's a bloody dragon! There's a bloody white dragon!
okay. So, I've broken my combat track. I've just broken Fancy Ground, so you just have to bear with me. I do like the fact that when you add an NPC to the combat tracker now, it creates an entry on the NPC and you can edit it and it updates it. But for some of these really complicated monsters, adding it to the combat tracker and then trying to open it just kills Fancy Grounds.
Are we careful by any chance in an area of mountains?
Yes. Well, not yet, are you? You're not actually on the mountain yet. You're at the base of the mountain.
Well, mountains also covers hills, so are we in the foothills?
You're probably in the foothill. Well, I could tell you, but the whole thing's frozen.
Actually, no, because this is a flat top. This is not a hill or anything else. You have to step off of the flat top. And sorry,
I'm going with that. I like it.
Well, Table Mountain has a flat top, but it's still a mountain.
From the rocky eastern shores of the ground rises into the craggy, snow-dappled roots of Rhymeskull, casting a long shadow over this area. Not all the ground here is rugged and mountainous. So no, it's not mountainous.
Not
here.
all of it.
Yes.
It said you were in foothills and not
Several
all of it.
100 feet from the lake's edge, the land suddenly levels off to create a circular hill. So I'm afraid you're not... Ironically, it actually says this bit is not mountainous.
You know, I totally just misheard you and I thought you said sat-nav levels off.
My God, you guys are either really... Okay, so, yeah, so let's just do that. Zoom in a bit. Yeah, okay. So, first things first, as it basically, first thing that happens is somewhere, I did open it, there it is. So, as the, let's just go for this one. Oh, there is actually an illustration for this one. So there you go.
Wow, what beauty!
Okay, so I was where I was. Sorry. Okay. So actually, you can destroy the heads to 3D keys if you want.
Did I get a toy surprise out of my vending machine or not?
You haven't cast your spell yet. You
have?
identified what it was. Well, you didn't get the. Well, if you did you cast it?
No, it needs an illusion.
Yeah, I would have thought invisibility would be an illusion, is it not?
When did you cast that?
Do you not see that underneath Rannick's unskilled watching the shadows roll of 16? I've made 2 rolls of 8 because he didn't show it for ages, and then they both suddenly came up.
Well, yeah, that's because I was too busy dealing with the fact you're in a fight.
The fight hadn't started then.
Well, technically, okay, fair enough.
Well, I didn't know about it.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. You've spent the power points. Yes, you cast illusion. They get absorbed, and there's a gold key in the mouth of the statue. That's absolutely fine.
There's nothing worse than putting a pound in a vending machine and it not giving you your little leg.
No, I don't deny that. So, looking for what I'm looking for, and then it'll be fine. So I just need to do that.
Is this size 4 one, or is this a seriously big one?
It's size 7.
Shit.
It's a size 7 ancient white dragon. This isn't the baby of the dragon that hasn't been seen for 200 years and used to attack people 500 years ago. It is the dragon.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to say. Okay, so I just need to set a couple of things up because basically you would have time to cast the thing, and as it basically clambers out and roars and heads towards you, it protects itself. So the first thing it does is that. Like Bert. No, not like Bert, by itself. Let's get rid of that. Let's do it again. Sorry. So I'm just trying to set this up. Because you can't. I wish you could preload effects. Oh, that broke the combat tracker again. This guy's got so many abilities, it kills the combat tracker. It's depressing. Where the hell did that go? There we go. Okay, that's the first thing. That's the first thing. It's already got that going. Then it gets to do the following because it's evil like that. At the moment, you can see it flying towards you. So what's everyone going to do? You get to prep as well. I will do that in a second.
I'm going to turn into something. I just haven't decided what yet.
Yeah. So basically, you can hear something emerge, and now as Rannick's going, bloody hell, that's a dragon. There is a dragon. There is a huge white dragon flying straight out of the snow.
Well, the first thing Rannick then is draw his sword of dragon slaying.
However, it gets a +4 bonus on its stealth roll. Okay, as it's flying down, obviously the snow. Yeah, let's have some fun with that, shall we? There we go. It gets a +4 stealth roll against anyone who's only from there, which you did spot it. So okay, yeah. So I'm going to. I don't think anyone's got the cards anyway. But Rannick,
How many rounds have we got to prepare?
you don't know. It's basically you heard it roaring, you saw it leap into the air, and then obviously you've lost it in the clouds.
Okay, so in my first round,
Yeah.
I will boost my fighting,
Okay.
which you're going to have to change the number of rounds on.
Okie dokie. Irina.
I'm going to turn it into a frost giant, and if I've got enough time, get either Rannick or I can't remember who else. Was it Bert had the other axe
Well,
to lend me their axe?
well, go on. Right now, go for it. It's cast your frost giant. Is what I'm trying to say. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, that'll do it. That gives me the range.
Here you go, Rini. The Rude Chill Hatchet will be really good against a white dragon, he says, handing over the ice weapon. Because you failed your smarts roll.
Oh, the other one, the one that gets bigger.
Aye, that's this one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Aye.
Oh, okay, fine.
Oh, you want to keep it? Okay then.
I'm utterly
So
confused
you turn
now.
into a giant frost giant. You've got the raise, which increases your strength and your vigour.
Which I'm
and
probably
your
going to
toughness,
use.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right? Righty-ho. Chelsea, what are you doing?
Is there anything here that, as small as she can just take cover in?
Well, you could try hiding. No, not really. As you can see, it's exposed. area.
Behind the head.
But yeah, you can try ducking behind the head, but that's about it.
Well, I'm gonna just move around to this side so I'm closer to the guy who know how to fight.
Donjad.
I think Dondrad will give everybody flaming swords.
Yeah, go for it.
Or flaming weapons. It'll cast smite on everybody. Let's cast greater smite on.
What's
And
the
yeah,
range?
let's.
Yeah, a white dragon's got to have a weakness to fire.
Aye.
What's your faith?
It's not. It's smarts, and
What's your smarts?
so it's 6.
That's everyone in range.
Right. Okie doke. Double range, and it can
Okay.
move as well. So who's the fight? I mean, we can also move. We can move, can't we? 5.
Well, you all stayed on the edge after I gave you plenty of time to move around, so I'm afraid.
Yeah, well, I was being self-conscious with statues. 14.
I stepped away. I would have been over there kind of with the group whenever he started hollering about dragons.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll cast greater smite, and I think what we'll do is we'll make it armor piercing as well.
Okay. No, I'm just making you spend more power points because I'm being evil. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. I'll let that go then.
Yeah, we'll cast greater smite. We'll make it armor piercing as well. Because I'm sure flaming swords will make. I haven't targeted it, but let's roll. Let's roll.
Yeah, you got the raise.
Get the raise.
For double range, that's everyone in that you have to. If you move to there, that's everyone in double range.
Yes. So we will cast.
Target them first. You need to target them before you apply the effects, don't you? Because I don't know who you're putting it on and who you're not putting it on.
We're just going to go mental with it because we can.
If that's a snow effect, it's utterly cool. Well, it's cool, whatever it is.
I could go for Blizzard if you'd rather, but.
I think we're fine as we are, but no, that's not as pretty. It kind of makes me feel I'm going a little bit epileptic if you go Blizzard. That's nice.
That just killed my graphics card, though.
Oh, we don't want to be doing.
It was applying all the smite effects. I think that's too much, actually, isn't it?
Pretty pretty though.
Can you give them? What I can't do is give them all AP6 as well.
That's my fault.
That's what
I'm going to nerf its armor attribute and give everybody plus 60 damage.
AP plus 6. 5 turns. Let me just do that. No.
Nice idea.
You'd have to create an effect and drop it for an effect.
I do need to add in AP as an extra effect, that's for sure.
Got the AP plus 6 on me, so you must have done it.
I did manually. There we go. Right, Bert.
Bert is still trying to decide what he wants to do. I think.
There we go.
Yeah, Bert is going to shape change into a frost giant.
Yay!
Is a size really only size 4, kind of a small guy, huh?
Travis, I heard you through the floor, but not through the computer.
Oh well. Frost Bros.
Yay!
Oh.
If I get the opportunity, I totally want to high five Bert. Oh, you got the race too.
Yeah.
It's Marvel's What if Thor were an only child.
Okay, so I'll need you to adjust the strength, vigor, and toughness, please. And the duration.
I don't know what it's really meant to be. I'll just make it a ridiculously high number. Okay, that brings us to me.
Hello, me.
And I'm just going to do... I'm going to cast... Oh, why didn't that do anything? There we go.
Rannick, your
Well, that's
moment.
all right. We just looked for the dragon-shaped hole in the snow.
And then you use your magical snuff powder on it.
I only put the snow on because I thought it was cool. It doesn't... I don't think it...
Well, yeah, snow traditionally is kind of cool. It has to be quite close to 0 for snow to be there.
Indeed, a Rooney. Okay, let's start the ball rolling. Dondrad gets the Joker.
Yay!
So the dragon is invisible.
Right, so
When it turned invisible, was it in the air or on the ground?
it's flying straight towards you, and then it vanished.
Oh, that's not at all worrying.
Dondrad will make an occult roll to find out where it is. He's looking for a dragon-shaped pattern in the falling snow.
Yes, I can't see it. Where do I throw the dust?
Bloody hell!
What happened there?
Yes,
What happened
where?
there?
You're
Sorry,
targeting all of us. That's what happened.
because
Someone
I didn't play a
clear their
targeting.
targeting.
Okay, then.
It's somewhere in that direction.
So that was at 12. So yes. So it's over there.
Rannick, you're up.
Okay, well, since I can't see it, I definitely want to not get breathed on by it. So, let's have
Hiding behind that thing.
that, please. And I will step forward and interpose myself between Jelsa and where I think the dragon is.
Okay.
Oops. I clicked that too early because my hand twitched.
That's okay. You can spend bennies at any time. I won't worry about it.
Fair enough.
Oh, this map's bloody large. Okay, that's a breath weapon. That's a successful use of a breath weapon on Dondrad and Rannick and Jelsa. This blast of hot frost just emerges out of the snow, and literally all you can see is this snowstorm coming towards you.
Athletics
You all
to
get
evade?
evaded rolls, don't you? Because it's a breath weapon. You all get to evade.
So is that agility?
Agility -2.
Is it agility or athletics? I thought it was athletics.
And evasion rolls are agility at -2.
Okay, so
Saving throw.
mine's at +2 then.
Yeah. Yours
So I've
is
got-
agility, yeah.
No, it's not, because I've also got improved dodge. So I've got uncanny dodge, which lets me ignore the penalty, and improved dodge, which gives me
Hey, with
+2.
a 14 on that, can I, like, evade around behind the statue?
You just avoid it, you're fine.
Why did I just roll smarts?
Okay,
just
so
want-
everyone successfully avoids the breath roll.
So we all move to the edge of the template.
Now you know where it
You
is,
don't.
Frank. Use the
Or
damn
do you?
dust.
You don't any
Yeah, we
avoid, you
do.
just avoid it, do you?
Yeah. If it's a attack with the template, you move to the edge of the template.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. Yeah, yeah. But it's got to be the closest edge. It's not like anywhere like it used to be.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I yelled to Rannick when it attacked, it showed you where it was. Use the damn dust.
All right. It moved and it vanished. Bugger.
Well, it was invisible anyway. I just forgot to mark it invisible, didn't I?
Yeah.
It was also flying. Okay. Arena, you're up.
I am casting this on everybody in the party, so I am doubling the range of the power to do it, and I already spent the Benny by accident. So there you go.
That's okay. Can you really do it on multiple recipients? Yes, you can. Ouch! So the entire party has just suddenly got. I assume you're casting Detect Arcana on the entire
Yep.
party.
Yep.
Can I just say I hate you right now? Brilliant use
Absolutely.
of the power, but I still hate you right now.
That's fine. I won't take it personally.
Very no. It makes when you say everybody, is that include Schnooks or not include Schnooks?
Include Schnooks. So I'm spending 9 power points on that.
Okay. So Detect Arcana.
Feel any better? The last 3 spells have almost wiped me out from full power points to hardly any left.
I know, don't worry. It's perfect use of your powers. It's exactly what you would do. It's like we're fighting an invisible monster, and I have the ability to let everyone detect it. It makes perfect sense. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Detect Arcana. Fail. Okay, with a success to attempt to detect Arcana on being item minus +2 different rates. If a detect Arcana fails, you cannot see from the bruise crosses on there. That's interesting. I thought detect Arcana gave you. With a success, attempt to detect Arcana on the item will be -2 -4 race. Detect Arcana fails. Hang on, that description's different, isn't it? I'm sure last week we worked out Detect Arcana against invisibility, but that description doesn't imply that there.
Yeah, yes, it does.
Oh, it's further up. I was reading the wrong section.
It's further up.
Yeah.
Very first
Detect
paragraph.
Arcana allows you to ignore up to 4 points of penalties when attacking foes hidden by magical darkness invisible. Yeah, so you get to basically. Well, to be honest, what I will do is I will negate. I will just turn off the fact it's invisible because obviously you can all see it, can't you? So
Yeah.
the easiest thing to do there is I make it always visible, and I turn off the fact that it's invisible. It's invisible, although it still has to count down. Yeah.
That is for 5 rounds.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you doing anything else?
Well, now I can see it. If I can get to it, I'll try and hit it. Depends how high off the ground it is.
Well,
See,
don't forget you would be a multi-action penalty if you want to do that. I just wanted
That-
if you wanted to move or anything.
Well, I'll move towards it, ready to hit it next time. How's that?
Okay.
Yeah, Rainy, give me a leg up.
It's,
If I'm able to,
go for it. If you're able to.
if I'm allowed to prepare to give him a boost, I will happily do so.
Well, I think what you had to do was walk towards him. Is what I think.
No, they're absolutely fine.
I
That's
thought
fine.
he was going to run at me and put his foot in my gripped hands and let me boost him up.
Yeah, makes sense. Bert, you're up.
Okay, so how high is he again?
3 squares, so that's 3 inches up. So that's 18 inches, isn't it? Sorry, not 18 inches. 3 inches above the ground because it says he flies low over the party and uses his breath weapon. Oh,
Which is
good
6
point.
yards, which is 18 feet, and and Bert's a giant.
18 feet, yes, which is fine. However, I do forget, sorry, he flies low, so first things first, there is something else you all have to do. He is an ancient dragon, so he does cause fear. So everyone must make a fear check at -2.
Oh, piss off!
No, you are
Now
lucky.
the powers just failed.
No, you're okay. You are lucky that I forgot that before you cast Detect Arcana on everyone. Because technically you should have been running away. Okay, so Arena, you cast Detect Arcana. Okay, okay. You cast Detect Arcana and then walk towards the dragon, and that's when you get hit by its dragon fear.
Yeah,
So,
Okay.
suddenly she's like, oh hell.
Snooks has failed as well, has he?
So yeah, Manic would do all the table too.
Okay. Well, no. If you anyone who must make a fear check, but its fear is slightly different depending. Obviously, if you fail, it becomes a terror check, but a fear check is slightly different, isn't it?
Yeah, no, me and Snooks both made it. Bert and Snooks both made it.
Okay. Fear. The hero makes a fear check when they first spot. A success means you manage to overcome the fear. A terrifying trigger, such as a monster. Actually, I'm going to say it is a terror check because that makes things more interesting, doesn't it?
It's one way of putting it.
Okay, so I think you can, if you want, you can literally put a +2 modifier in and then just type /roll fear, can't you? Or you can.
No, that's, if you do /roll fear, that does a spirit check.
Oh, sorry. Okay, that's okay then.
Like that.
Fair enough. There's the fear table. Both of you have to give yourself a +2 modifier and roll on the fear table.
Well, in that case, I obviously spent that Benny before I did the power, and there you go. It doesn't matter.
Oh, good. I like that. I shall even award you a Benny for giving me a way out of it.
You're welcome.
So, Radek, you are.
I'm being hesitant.
You're hesitant, but that's only for this encounter, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'll just give myself that hindrance and I'll take it away later.
He turns around and sees the statue, he's panicked, so he's just a mess for this encounter.
Indeed. Okay, so Bert, sorry about that, Bert. I forgot about the fear check before you were telling me you were going to do something. It's 18 inches. Sorry, it's 18 feet above the ground as it's flying low over all of you.
Yeah, I'm having difficulty getting my PDF to open up. How tall is a cross giant?
Good question. Just going
I've got that. They are size 4, 15 feet tall.
15 feet tall. Good. Then I'm going to just swing at him.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you have to walk up to him, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, and technically you get reach now for being so big.
Yeah, because you're size 4, you've got to reach 1.
Okay, you hit it with you hit it for damage. Parry 7. That seems a bit low for a dragon.
Yeah, it's a sight. Oh, no. 23.
It's tough with 23 though.
well,
That should be AP 6.
Yeah, I was
It
gonna
should
say,
be.
That should be a total of AP 10.
That's because
That's because Bert's got the AP on it.
that's because Bert's the only person I didn't put the AP on, and I failed to notice that.
Oh, AP 10 then.
Does AP stack? I suppose it does. Okay, the dragon has toughness 8, so that's only going to add on 4.
That's got armor 8.
1, 2. I mean, yeah, armor 8. So basically, what I mean is, I take its toughness down by another 4 points, not a full 6. Okay. Yeah, that seems to have done the trick, doesn't it? You've shaken it.
And it's a rending weapon. I think that means he's now bleeding, or do I have to actually wound him with that?
You have to wound, I believe, with rending, don't you? Check. Abilities.
Yeah, it's saying
Rending
I need to load the chapter 5 module to get that information.
Victims shaken or wounded by a rending attack are bleeding. Shaken or wounded by a rending attack are bleeding and must make a vigor roll as a free action at the beginning of their next turn. Failure causes a wound.
Haha!
I'm sure you guys will not forget that's happened. Okay, so the dragon is shaken.
Schnooks is going to come up here
Oh,
and...
hang on.
Oh.
Tell a lie. The dragon... Sorry, Sorry, I need to retcon that. Okay, so this is what we need to retcon that. So the toughness was down by 8, wasn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's not shaken, so it's shaken. Now, the smite...
Yeah, the smite's a fiery attack.
The smite was far-based, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Okay, so that means 1, 2, 3, 4. Unharmed.
Wow.
Resistant to fire.
No.
Yep. It's got... Yes, he cast fire resistance on himself.
Ah.
In that case, I will Benny that
it.
damage.
Pardon?
In that case, I will Benny that damage.
Go for it. Hang on. Yeah, go for it.
I'll let you figure out all the numbers from there.
Surely the fire resistance would just negate its natural weakness to fire, so therefore it would not have the +4, but also not have the -4, so it'd still be shaken.
That's a good point. But it's a very good point. Do you want your Benny back?
No, I'll take the wound.
Thought you might. Okay, there we go. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, Rannick. So therefore, your smite does still affect it. It just doesn't take extra damage from the smite. I shall award you a Benny for correctly deducing I was trying to cheat.
I didn't think you were trying to cheat.
No, you know, no, I was cheating without realising it. Schnooks is up.
Snooks is going to come up here and encourage Dondrad by kind of rubbing up against him and purring a little bit. In an effort not to trip him up, though, however, it is going to be an athletics check.
Okay.
And Dontrad's going to reply, "No, I'm not bloody feeding you."
Dodger's going to reply, "No, I'm not bloody feeding you."
Yeah, I mean, already made his nails sparkly. What more does he want?
Yeah. Now, how high up did you say it was flying?
3 inches.
Which is how many feet?
18 feet.
I'm gonna sneak over here behind Ryan. And I have no idea what'll work on this thing, so she's just pulling out a wand. Hey, this might help. It'll help the others, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. A shame they don't put the links in when.
And then I'm good. I had one step left, so I'm gonna step right behind it, Granite, and hide. Like, hide me, Granite.
Jazz is playing peekaboo with a dragon.
I forget now. They automatically work, don't they? And then they then have to shake them off, don't they?
Yeah.
And that's that because it's with the raise. I think it's with 2 die.
But with the arcane resistance that the dragon has, that -2 will make that just a normal hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you did that on Vigor, didn't you?
Yep. It's the only thing the wand works on. Soft them up for you, Panic. Maybe. I can't tell.
Yeah, lowers its vigor and its toughness.
Indeed. It would help if I use square brackets, not braces. Okay. Is that the end of the round? Okay, Green is up first.
Yay. Right, with me being as tall as I am and having a big weapon with...
Sorry,
I think
I lied. I'm going first.
Fine. I'll
Sorry.
hear him.
Sorry.
Ow.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're not.
No, really not.
And run it because he's all hesitant. Be careful, it's a dragon. You don't want to get hit by it. Everybody, just be careful. Think about what you're doing.
I'm behind you, Rannick. You be careful.
Okay. So it misses.
What, you mean like you were the first dragon fight where you ran up to it and fell at its open mouth?
Shut up, you.
Okay, Rena, you're up.
Oh, it's buggered off.
Yeah,
Right.
It's a dragon. It's flying. It's.
Let me just have a look what this
He
is.
gets to make a spirit check to get rid of the. Lower trait.
Mm-hmm. Really? Come back here! In fact, I'm going to call out in Draconic. You're a bloody coward.
Is that a taunt?
Can be. It's unskilled and probably not going to do anything, but hey, why not?
He flew away from Bert. Bert gets a free attack too, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, good point. Go for it. I forgot.
Does running take away from a taunt?
Probably because you're trying to run and you know what I mean.
In that case, it probably didn't even understand me or thought it was really cute. I don't know, but it wasn't effective.
No, fair enough.
I didn't expect
I
it to
don't
be.
think you can accuse it of being a coward while running away, you know.
No, I was running towards it. It's running. Never mind.
I think he's winding you up.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we were a wee bit frightened to start.
Chelsea, you're up.
That's true, actually. I wasn't I? I'd forgotten that conveniently.
For me.
Sorry?
I was trying to see how far away he is. I am going to multi-action this time. I can teleport. Let's see, 12. That's it. Yeah, I can teleport up behind. For cover. Back up one more. And then I'm gonna pull out a different one and hope like hell I reach.
Okay, you moved there. Sorry, I was reading something.
I'm gonna Benny the damage one time. It's the wand of acid arrow, so you'll have to add one.
lingering damage.
But so far I haven't damaged him.
Still
And so far I'm not going to damage him, but hey, I'm hiding behind Barry now.
I'm going to go hold.
There we go. Dodreg goes on hold. Bert's up.
I think Bert is also going to go on hold. He's flown away from me and is too far. I can't run nearly that far, so yeah, I think Bert's going to go on hold too. As will Snooks.
Rannick's up.
Rannick strides forwards, pointing his sword at Archrist, and shouts out, "Archrist the White, scourge as the Shoanti, you're now more than a lizard. You bloody coward, running from the likes of us. I'll face thee one-on-one!" I'm attempting to intimidate it. Probably not going to work. Or will it?
So, distracted or vulnerable?
I'll make him vulnerable.
I think he noticed the sword.
Yeah. You made him vulnerable. Does anyone who's on hold wish to act before the end of the turn? Or do you wish to stay on hold?
No, I'll start the next round on hold.
Okay.
Bert, on the other hand, is going to go ahead and come off hold.
Sorry, Bert, go for it. You come off hold, I'll deal you another card. But act now.
Running, walking 8 inches. And I will also shout insults and
Go for it.
You're a bloody lizard. You can't do nothing.
Do you want to belly that?
That's exactly what I wanted to have happen, so it's all good.
That's okay. That's fine. I've also dealt you another card, so you're acting this turn, as it were. Okay, so I am going to do is to there. I'm going to take 2 actions. As my first action, Archrist is going to use its innate...
In fact, I'll interrupt, in fact.
Archrist is going to use its innate ability there to basically manipulate the snow that's falling and cause a minor avalanche towards you. Let's have an opposed athletics rolls. Off you go, on the ground.
What was this athletics roll? So...
Are you happy with an 7?
Yeah, I'm happy. Doesn't really matter if it goes first.
You get to interrupt.
I'm not happy with it keeps flying about like this and dodging everybody. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull out a scroll of sloth and cast sloth in it.
Okay, go for it.
That's a spirit check. Faith check.
Faith check.
You've misspelt strength on Archrist. You've got boost trait straight plus 2 dice. So it now does have a D6. It's got D6 in being heterosexual.
Oh dear.
think I've got it targeted.
Why the hell did you roll fighting?
Why did I roll fighting?
Oh.
I don't know why I rolled fighting. It's still a D8 because it's a D8. That's why.
Okay.
Close enough for government work. Are you going to take the 10? 9 rather. Shall I roll again?
No, if it's the same, I don't mind. I was just confused.
Yes, I was confused too.
A lot
That's
of
why I went for the D8 and it's both the same. Faith and fighting.
It began with F and it's a D8. What more do you need?
Yeah. Yeah.
You got the raise. Movement becomes an action.
Yep.
Fair enough. It's already acted this round, so I don't feel okay. That's fine. That's okay.
Yeah,
so,
I don't want you flying about too much. You're gonna have to stay put.
Anyway, as I was saying, I'm basically going to basically Archrist uses his ability to manipulate snow and ice to basically form a localized avalanche on Rannick. Basically.
Okay.
Did basically 3 times in that one sentence.
I know.
Okay.
Basically, I thought that was what I should do.
Right, well, I'll evade that, please. Oh, no, I won't. I'll just get hit by it.
You can't evade it. It doesn't say you can evade it.
Does it cover an area?
No, it's just targeting you and it literally just buries you in snow.
Okay,
It's
so
like
he
in the
throws a
cartoon
snowball
where
at
the
me. That's
powder
fine.
the one person's head.
Yeah, basically he throws a snowball at you. And then obviously it's
Snowball
going to-
fight with Knife Dragon.
Yeah. Okay. What's wrong with the multi-action? Oh, because something went funny there. So that's with the multi-action penalty. That's still a 5. So that's still successful. Chelsea, you're up.
I'm gonna run up here next to Rannick. Now, does this put me within 20 yards?
Targeted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna run up next to Rannick, and then I'm gonna stop, and I'm gonna do a little spin in the snow, swirling my cloak around me, and I'm gonna cast stun on this thing. Not like that.
Hang on, is it? You don't have to roll. Don't forget if it's.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just using the rope. It's just
I know.
spend the power point.
Yeah. So what we redo? I'm not sure how we do this because it's going to be a real pain in the butt because we really do need to. Oh no, I don't have to do it that way. All I have to do is find the robe scintillating colours. Do that. No. All I have to do is find the robe scintillating colours. I've forgotten how I do this. No.
And I just turned a demented little gnome next to you and just did a spinning.
What? The stun power or the robe of scintillating colours?
Don't you like my pretty dress?
I am trying to on the power sheet. I can't change the info anymore.
Do you have to unlock it first?
I don't know what's going on there. Oh god, how do you get out of mini sheet mode? I don't know what it's done. Alright, let's do that. I don't know how it's done it. It's done something very freaking. It's bugging it up big time. I don't know why. It's fancy grounds, not anything you've done. Right, let's delete that. Then we're going to find the powers edge, and then we're going to do stun. And we're going to scroll back up to the top. Then I'm going to drag and drop stun onto the robe of scintillating colours. And then when I go back down to stun, it should be showing it as needing a skill, because I set the arcane background for the robe of scintillating colours to not need it. Yeah, they've broken something. Bingo, that got it though. Redragging it in fixed it. Okay. Okay, so the dragging and dropping seems to have been broken on the you know where you used to drag the power onto an arcade background and you could set
Yeah.
it to an arcade background. That seems to have stopped working. I'll have to check if that's something they've done in one of the fixes. Okie dokie. Anyway, so now you basically hit it with a stun. And it is a minor stun. So make a vigor roll minus. Makes a vigor roll. Where's his vigor? I'm afraid he's okay. He resists your stun. Radek, you're up.
Well, in that case, I will change the power I was going to use, and instead of doing that, I shall do this instead. He may not be stunned, but he is falling to the ground.
You're going to bloody bind him, aren't you?
I have. I will use my bowlers as the trapping for this. They somehow expand as they fly through the air and catch one of his wings and bring him down to the ground completely bound. That's my free action.
I've always liked your magical balls.
Then I will move into there. And attack him. Where are we? Too many weapons. Worms do.
What does a worm do?
Yes. That will do nicely. And then 4 needs adding to that because I moved 4 inches and my rhino hide kicks in. So that's actually 50 damage. So Rannick charges again. Take that, you bastard! Oh, yes! Oh, no. Well, still hurting.
You did indeed.
And then I will finish my move by backing off to protect Jelsa.
Luna's up.
Okay, I need to run to get there. At least I manage it this time. And, oops. I think... Yep, there we go.
Okay, so you come charging in through the snow, swinging that rune chill hatchet.
Alright. It's a wound.
It is indeed. It is indeed a wound, and I don't want that, so I'm going to do that. Okay. You smash into its heavily armoured side, but the dragon seems to shrug it off. But you're up.
Bert will move up to here and swing the falchion at him again.
Hit.
Oh, yeah.
I think I hurt him more, Bert.
That's better.
Okay, and then Park Place is $200. He's been rent.
Oh yes, Blended as well, isn't he?
And since he's on the ground, Snooks is going to try and catch a lizard. Going to have to run to get that far.
No problem at all there.
Oops, forgot to target. Dang it.
I assume you're going to try again.
Yeah.
I've done the targeting now, so go for it.
Yeah, the running messed him up. He slipped on the snow.
Yeah, he's obviously sliding on the snow. Well, I don't think this dragon's going to survive another round, so we might as well finish the fight.
Go for it.
Oh, bugger. I'm quite knocked there because obviously I had a really good card. I had the 10 of spades before.
No, it's on the ground, right?
It is indeed.
Oh, Chelsea's, everybody else is being really brave, so Chelsea.
Yep, you're up first.
And, well, she's got all kinds of bonuses. And she's gonna stab it with her scimitar.
Okay, you hit it. Roll for damage. It's a wound.
Oh, I actually wounded it, and then I'm gonna duck back behind Irina, because I got more blood. Because that's like, I'm not brave, I just pretend to be.
Okay.
It's because it distracted Arena. I'm Arena. It was distracted Chelsea by that pretty coat that's red and yellow and green and brown and scarlet and black and ochre and peach and ruby and olive and violet and fawn and lilac and gold and chocolate and mauve. And cream and crimson and silver and rose and azure and lemon and russet and grey and purple and white and pink and orange and red and yellow and green and brown and blue.
Indeed.
I think you missed vermilion.
But in the lyrics.
Yes, Vermilion is in the lyrics.
But I'm reading damn lyrics.
It happens more than once in the verse.
Mm.
Okay, so it takes a wound from the rending damage. Okay, it's not moving. It's half broken out of the bindings.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's in a bad way. It can't flee.
Yeah, if you try to move, you have to take a multi-action penalty.
Exactly. It's going to have to do a wild attack, and Rannick, you cheeky sodgy Rannick, so I'm going to have to wild attack the next person who next did the next bad damage, which of course is.
Well, unless it wants to move in multi-action, because it can move up to me if it wants to.
Okay. It fails. It fails to. It fails to hit. And then Schnookums, as the only one who's not immune to cold, takes 3 points of frost damage. But you're up. Because it's got an icy aura. That's a hit.
I am not getting my gang up.
Yeah, I think they broke it.
I think that's because Arena's token and Snook's token aren't actually touching the edge of our crystal.
It's kinda, that's the downside of turning off Snap to Grid.
Snap. Yeah.
Try your attack roll again there.
It wouldn't make any difference even if you had Snap to Give on. You can move half. Aye.
Yeah,
If you've got
Arena's
Snap
still
to Give
showing,
on.
see, Arena's still showing too, so that's what it is. But anyway, you hit on the 7. So roll
Yeah.
damage.
I got a raise with the 7.
Oh, you got a 9, didn't you?
Right.
Hang on, no, interestingly, it's showing a 9 for the attack anyway, which is still a hit.
Right, but it didn't give it another +2 for gang up, turning it into 11, which is a raise.
Oh, because it's
Yeah, 'cause
vulnerable. Yes, sorry, I see what you mean. Sorry, yes, thank you very much.
I didn't do extra damage on mine when he was vulnerable.
I know. I didn't
Damn
notice
it.
that at the time.
And I was just gearing up to give myself Giant Slayer.
That is where we shall leave it.
Oh, Dragon's Blood. That's got to have some kind of magic power to it. I'll have to scoop some of that up.
That's where we, as almost at the same time as the dragon dies, the snowstorm.
Bates.
Although it's abates, it's still there, but it's very subtle now.
Now, everybody stop hitting it. I want to skin it.
I put the axe down on
You're
the
gonna
ground
skin
next
it
to you and returned to
And
form.
are you gonna skin it while the statues are watching you, Rannick?
Yeah? I'll close my eyes.
He sure ain't dragging it somewhere else.
I'm not dragging it anywhere.
Right, we shall leave it there. Go on then, make your survival check. Just
Where are we? Survival. That'll do.
there aren't any rules for dragon scales, so God knows what you want to put that down as.
Well, if you make something out of them, they have environmental protection automatically.
Oh, well, there you are. There you go.
So if you make a masterwork shield out of white dragon scales, it's got environmental protection cold, and it doesn't take up an enchantment slot.
Well, there you go. Now I know.
And then you make the armor out of the red dragon skin that you've got, and you're immune to both fire and cold.
Exactly.
I am obviously assuming those of you that are spellcasters are going to voluntarily end your shape changing because you can't do any magic or stuff. So that's where we should leave it, with the corpse of the freshly skinned corpse of the ancient white dragon lying dead in the middle here, and the snow abates, and we shall leave the party and return next week to see what happens when they retrieve the other 5 golden keys. No, you got 2 keys somewhere. And which ones you got them from? You got them from Belibarius and Zandagal.
Mm-hmm.
So we shall leave it there. And yeah, hope you enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.